Hello, hello. Hi, Too Lazy to Name. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Stream Elements bot. Welcome. Is this volume okay? Might turn it down just a tiny bit. Hello, Kikyo. Welcome. One sec. Maybe more like that. There we go, there we go. Today, I'm gonna be playing a new little mystery game that I've been wanting to try out for a little bit. Hi, Mint. Welcome. I saw it get listed in some, like, best detective games lists for its unique playstyle. It's not too long, I don't think. Hi, Lee! Hey, Lee, thank you for coming. Thank you, thank you. But otherwise, I don't know that much besides it advertised digital exorcisms, whatever that means. But I have to say, I really like the graphic design on this title screen. Nice colors. Do we need... that looks good. That looks good. Hi, Evie! Welcome! Welcome, welcome! Let us begin a new game. Two brothers. 100 years without murder. 100 years without demonic possession. Then this. I'm Sister Ada, exorcist and investigator. This is my testament to the massacre at St. Walpurga's Abbey. It is truth. Do not believe the lies of my accusers. Ooh. Cybernetics Workshop.
Sister Ada, welcome.
Oh, good voice acting. Thank goodness. I like these portraits.
I am Virgil, Chief Inquisitor at St. Walpurga's Abbey. We may be in need of your talents as an exorcist. You can survey the evidence yourself, but I think you will agree.
Has there truly been a murder?
It seems so. A respected priestess, Mother Miriam, passed this morning under suspicious circumstances. A demon may be present. Here, even now, possessing someone.
What happened exactly?
Mother Miriam was only recently appointed as successor to Abbot Gregory.
Here, Leon God.
This morning, she came to the workshop to receive her coronet of office.
Something went wrong with the installation.
Yes, to put it mildly, the coronet oversurged, killing Mother Miriam. Brace yourself for the sight.
Then, the workshop operators, Gideon and Reuben, are the prime suspects. They are brothers, right?
Yes, but it's highly out of character for Gideon or Reuben to kill someone.
Hope they're not twins.
Even so, they were the only ones present when Mother Miriam died.
Daemons nurture our sinful desires into unthinkable actions, Virgil.
Okay, daemons.
One of the brothers has surely been seduced by a daemon. Whichever it is, I will unmask his lies and cast out the daemon within him.
May Einsoff's will be done.
Einsoff? Ian's here too.
To exorcise a daemon, we must uncover 4 things. First, the suspect. We must identify which sinner is possessed by a daemon. Second, the opportunity. When exactly was the murder committed?
Okay, the whodunit, the howdunit.
We can pinpoint the opportunity by analyzing each suspect's testimonies. Third, the means by which the murder has been committed. The means can be found among the physical evidence at the scene of the incident.
Not a why-done-it?
Fourth,
Oh yeah, there we go.
the motive of the murderer, which can be found in their inner world, their sanctum. The motive will tell us which daemon possesses the sinner.
Hi Gusty Billy. Hi Zosit. Yes, just started. We just started.
Very well. Let us begin our holy work.
Okay, let's figure out how this is going. Mother Miriam, victim, newly appointed voice of Einsoff, who was scheduled to receive an aether coronet implanted at the workshop. What is this? It is a murder mystery game. Feels like my... Hold on. Yeah, I feel like my model's a bit... I'm gonna turn my quality down, see if that helps my smoothness. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay. Nice that we can change that. Okay, there we go. Isometric view. Okay, there's... Ohayo! Konnichiwa. これは... これは... What's murder? 殺人未来判定のゲーム多分 Do you think? Is that the problem? Okay, Virgil. Okay, we can... Oh! Okay, these are all stuff we can look at. Virgil, what do you have to say? Oh. Oh no, is it only partial voice acting? Ah! Have you examined the explosion remains? If any component of the coronet is missing, that would suggest the incident was a sabotage. Nothing else? Hit the body, that's always a good place to start. The Mother Miriam's body, a valuable piece of physical evidence. A new entry is now added to your evidence panel, which can be found on the lower left of your display. There, you can access detailed information about the Mother Miriam's body. You must present them to the suspects in order to discover any contradictions. Mother Miriam's body. Oh, hi, DK! Welcome! Watch a playthrough of a streamer horror game. Oh, was that, was it Needy Streamer Overload? And I tuned into Matt playing an edgy game. I hope it's not too edgy. I just like mysteries. Mystery games just happen to have a lot of murder. The body is completely unharmed, but her head is exploded into a mess of blood and bone fragments. Beautiful. Coronet remains found near Mother Miriam's body. Parts of the amplifier component and bits of the casing survived the explosion. Okay. We can look at this. We can also look at this. Hi, Sad Cat. Oh, who do you play in Smash? I'm awful at fighting games. A new piece of evidence? Let's examine it now. Used to open the consecration chamber. Only operable from outside the chamber. Only operable from outside the chamber. Usage records show that it was opened twice this morning. Okay, twice. Only operable from the outside. Porcubus, indeed. Can never trust those. Oh, sideways walking. Control panel. Used to activate the consecration chamber. Usage records showed that the aether output during the ceremony was well beyond safe range. What's aether? Don't flame me. Nobody would ever flame you. The story of Library of Runa. It's a little hard to summarize, particularly because it's a sequel. But you play the director of a librarian and send out invitations in a sort of cyberpunk city, and then turn the people who get the invitations into books, all in hopes of finding the one perfect book. But it's the sequel to another game, so that's heavily involved. Okay, we'll look at everything before we talk to people. I mean, Dark Pit. I never really had a main because I was so bad at stuff. Okay, coronet blueprints. Plans for constructing the aether coronet. The purpose of the device seems to amplify the user's aether output. The components are amplifier, casing, and limiter. And there's... Found on Ruben's workstation, plans for restoring a relic that was brought to Saint Walpurgis by Father Augustine. There's something here. What's this? The Devil's Herb! I knew something nefarious was afoot. Is afoot. The abbey must be purified of its scent. I should dispose of any that I find. The Devil's... Yep. We know what that is. Devil's Herb. I mean, I was a big Fire Emblem fan, so I did have a weakness for Fire Emblem characters. When I was little and I played, I liked playing Pichu. Oh, speaking of which, happy Pokemon Day. Happy Pokemon Day. Found in Gideon's workspace in pristine condition. Component is required to safely install the coronet without causing an aether oversurge. Oh, I got an achievement. The Two Brothers Investigator. I guess this means we got all the evidence. Consecration ceremony. Place the coronet and the recipient in the chamber. The performer and the recipient play in silence. Begin the song to start modulating the aether. Intensify the aether output by bringing the performance to a crescendo. Okay. You can sort of see how things went wrong here. People are not fond of Fire Emblem. I am. But I do remember when Byleth got into Smash. Okay, we have Gideon, the younger brother, and Reuben, the older brother.
This is madness! I will not suffer this injustice!
Oh my gosh. Okay, if you might have done it, but if you didn't do it, I bet you're going to lie about something you did, and then I'm gonna call you out, and then you're gonna have a really whiny meltdown about it.
I am Gideon the Grand, the greatest cybernetician of our generation.
Indeed.
I am blessed. I don't know what went wrong this morning. My hands are guided by the divine.
I see only gaudy trinkets here. Mother Miriam died by your hands. Is that not so?
Oh. No! Why would I want to harm her? Mother Miriam was my patron. She loved me like a son. I did nothing wrong. The consecration chamber must have been compromised. Sister Ada is here to seek the truth, Gideon. You have nothing to fear if you... Oh, wrong character. Oh, bye, sad cat. Sister Ada is here to seek the truth, Gideon. You have nothing to fear if you are innocent. Please hear Gideon's testimony, Sister Ada, and judge for yourself if he speaks true. The traditional Phoenix Wright side... I was just thinking that voice acting sounds right out of early Phoenix Wright case. Testimony of a suspect is divided into events. You can access detailed descriptions of events by hovering over them. You can manipulate the timeline marker to navigate any moment in the testimony. Oh. Oh. Oh, speaking of the Devil's Herb, today I found out black goats are representatives of a god of healing. Oh, interesting. That's neat. I love just learning cool facts like that. Anyway, let's listen to what Gideon has to say.
Mother Miriam came to me for her consecration ceremony. I've performed this many times before, so I was confident. To prepare for the ceremony, I ordered Reuben to take Mother Miriam to the consecration chamber. Meanwhile, I adjusted the coronet's amplitude.
Oh. Interesting. Wait a second. Let's re-examine what he said about Miriam's arrival.
Mother Miriam
Oh,
came to me for her
interesting.
consecration ceremony.
Oh, interesting. Gideon does not mention Reuben being present while greeting Mother Miriam. Let's select Miriam's arrival and ask Gideon about it. Okay. Oh, interesting. Look at all this. Gideon, Miriam's arrival, unverified. Corroboration, no. Specificity, no. Mother Miriam came to me for her consecration ceremony. I performed it many times, so I was confident. Ask. Asking about Miriam's arrival. Good. I should remember that I can ask a suspect about any statement in a testimony. Were you alone when greeting Mother Miriam? He insists that he was alone. I wonder if Reuben will corroborate this. For now, let's finish hearing the rest of his testimony. Okay, so you don't talk again. I know, I love all this. Physicality, what? It's a tiny bit overwhelming, but
I ordered Reuben to take
look, we even get like
Miriam to the
sight
consecration
cones.
chamber. Meanwhile, I adjusted the coronet's amplification at my work table, and then placed it on Mother Miriam's head.
Okay, and we know like something was sabotaged and that's what killed her. But he went in and she just phased out of existence. Oh, she's back. Okay, we're allowed to pause any time.
We began by closing our eyes and praying together to Ein Sof. I thought I heard the chamber open, but didn't think much of it.
Okay. Can we, like, ask? You heard the door. Yeah, okay. You heard the door open? Perhaps. I think I also heard footsteps. But it's a faint, vague memory. Not to mention it's impossible. After all, Mother Miriam can't open the door from within. That... Only audible from outside. Okay, that's true. Reuben was presumably working on some new device or another. I must have imagined it. She keeps disappearing. I don't know if this is intentional.
I activated the consecration chamber and began the ceremony itself. The aether output was within safe ranges.
Oh, it's like a pipe organ. No, wait, what are you doing? Oh. I've heard enough. Let's leave him for now. Oh, that's... okay. I did say earlier the door was open twice. Okay. I'm just double checking. Okay, so we can get testimonies from... Looks like we get 3 people. Or maybe that's just slots for 3 people. Talk to Reuben.
Exorcist? Surely there are no demons here, though. This was an accident, wasn't it?
We kind of have evidence for sabotage, sir.
If Gideon is possessed, that would mean he did it on purpose. Horrible.
Horrible.
You must be the elder brother.
Doesn't even finish. Come on. I see. Your name?
Yes, my name is Reuben Garamond. I am responsible for the engineering and design of our implants.
How did Mother Miriam die, exactly?
It was a completely preventable accident. Mother Miriam died because Gideon deliberately flouted the ceremonial guidelines for his own glory. Gideon may be my flesh and blood, but he must take responsibility for his negligence.
It looks really cool. I know, I was just thinking the art and character designs are really great so far. Let us hear what Reuben has to say. I don't like that you're trying to blame somebody. Keep in mind that Reuben's testimony may differ greatly from Gideon's version of events. if an event corroborated by another suspect's testimony, if an event is corroborated by another suspect's testimony, it will be marked as verified on the timeline. Is that something we can trust? It feels like multiple people could lie, and corroborate each other, but they might not want to complicate it yet. Let's listen to what Ruben has to say.
Mother Miriam came to us to receive a consecration ceremony, but she wanted something.
Oh yeah, this is already
extravagant.
different.
Gideon suggested setting the coronet to have maximum ether output. I warned him that doing so is highly dangerous. Gideon convinced her to move forward with the ceremony anyway. Since he was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks.
This part of his testimony is rather long and repetitive. Let's move ahead to the next session. Try to stop this ceremony, so do you just click? Oh.
When Gideon activated the consecration chamber, I immediately felt something was wrong. I begged Gideon to stop, but he didn't listen.
I've heard enough, let's leave him for now. Nav, can I have some thoughts on the thumbnail of this video? Yeah, which video? I really do I like making thumbnails. Now that we've heard the testimony for each subject, let's think carefully. There's only one truth to the chain of events of this morning, and I doubt that either brother has told it to us. So we must rely on Ein Sof's greatest gifts to us, our minds. There are 3 ways we should consider what we discovered. This stream in particular? What about it? Sometimes the thing I did for this one is I forget, sometimes it's hard to figure out thumbnails or where to put my character, but there was an anonymous silhouette kind of in it, and I put my character over that one. That's sort of what I did, and I thought it worked out well. But it's hard when you're when your avatar's so bright it doesn't really fit the color scheme or something, so I added a gradient and darkened it a bit. If Gideon and Ruben do not agree on something, someone is lying. Or if what they say does not match the evidence I find, then they must be lying. Second is induction. I should base my theory based on what I discover. If my theory does not align with any of the testimonies or evidence that I find, then I should discard it. If two theories are both impossible, then I should prefer the one that has more information that supports it. That said, induction alone is usually not enough. Finally, abduction. I must hypothesize what could have happened, filling in information with my imagination. Is that okay? This is the fastest and most powerful way of thinking, but also the most fraught. I should engage in each of the 3 ways in order to uncover the truth. Okay. So how do I... Oh, we can get... Younger brother crafts the casing and ornaments of implants and handles the ceremonial aspects of installation. It's like the avatar is hugged by the person behind it. It's kind of... I was just trying... I guess it's a little bit like that. If you look at the original picture, there's it was just an anonymous silhouette I kind of stuck on top of it. Elder brother, less popular than Gideon due to his dour, cynical demeanor and his focus on the engineering of the implants. There's kind of a motive. Oh, thank you, Alexander, Catholic VTuber. Isn't there one? What's her name? Sister Abigail? Okay, so how do I do this? Is that with talking? Now that I've discovered important pieces of evidence, let's ask the suspect about them. Let's select any evidence and ask him about it. Oh. The body is completely unharmed, but her... Ugh. Good. I should remember that I can ask a suspect about any evidence that I find. At least I hope this isn't like Phoenix Wright, where we present something and they're like, I don't know anything about this. I can at least be comforted that her death was painless. Hi, Alexander! Okay, I guess we can ask everything. My masterwork! It was perfectly fitted to Mother Miriam's brow. Even in pieces, you can see the sublime beauty of my artistry. This can't be all you found. Where's the limiter? Limiter? There was a safety device? The 8th limiter was supposed to protect the coronet from an oversurge. Additionally, it was the crown jewel of the coronet. I suppose it's shattered. Damnation! Well, now we can... Where's the... I'm waiting for anyone to scream out loud object. I know, I wonder if we get a button for that. I'm sure there'll be an accuse. Well, there's an accuse button, but... Recognize this component, Gideon? It was found at your workstation. The coronet limiter, impossible! But the explosion, how can it be undamaged? Someone must have removed it from the coronet prior to the ceremony. All but ensuring that the ceremony would end in a bloody mess. I had nothing to do with this. Why would I sabotage my own work? Why indeed? Anything else that's important to ask about? Oh, is that Ruben's little project? Whatever keeps him busy is fine by me. That Ruben's little chart. He sure loves making things complicated. True art comes from the soul. Nothing in the mess of lines and wire expresses the beauty of the coronet. I can see how they wouldn't like each other. Story's theme feels like it could fit into Warhammer 40k. I haven't played Warhammer 40k, but the setting seems really wild. But I do have a weakness for a little bit of cyberpunk. I really like the Shadowrun setting. Okay, so we did these. Okay, we did these. How exactly do you operate this device? Do you press the keys much like a normal organ? That's a crude way to phase it. There's much artistry in the performance. The rhythm and the melody of the music affects how the energy is transferred into the implant. It's one of the it's the Warhammer setting is one of those things I like to look at from at a distance and have no idea.
Mother Miriam came to me for her consecration ceremony. I've
Currently drawing
performed this many
Gav.
times before, so I was confident.
Who can we ask? Are you drawing the Runa versions or the LobCorp versions? Okay, here's Zoe. Yes, obviously, Ruben agrees that Mother Miriam arrived at the same time. What more is to it, is there? I don't really recall what he said or did at the same time. Were you alone greeting Miriam? Yes, so certain I was alone then. And how do we get that Anyway, let's just ask about everything.
I ordered Ruben.
Why have Ruben do this? Why not open the chamber yourself? I did not want Mother Miriam to wait too long. Besides, menial work is all Ruben is good for anyway. We understand why these guys don't like each other.
I adjusted the coronet's amplification at my work table, and then placed it on Mother Miriam's head.
L-Corp. Both designs are really good. I have to say, I really like the beta design from Ruina where she had suspenders. What exactly did you modify? I modified the amplifier within its maximum setting. To do so, I had to temporarily remove the limiter. But I made sure to replace it before taking it to the chamber.
We began by closing our eyes.
You heard the door open? Perhaps. I think I also heard footsteps. It's a faint, vague memory. Right, okay, we did this. Gideon claims that the Aether output values are within safe ranges, but the control panel indicates otherwise. Oh, here we go. Let us present the control panel to him and unmask his lie. Okay, so it's just presenting evidence. Lies unmasked! Okay, it might not be as catchy as Objection or... Oh, what's the Danganronpa one? You're wrong. Sorewa chigayo. You lied, Gideon. The ceremony wasn't safe. The control panel's records show that the Aether output values were in abnormally high ranges. Of course it was. Mother Miriam wanted the coronet as powerful as it could be. But I'm Gideon the Grand. With my talents, I had it under control. I made no errors. Something else went wrong. I just don't know what. Gideon has amended his testimony. Let's examine maintain control. No, that's wrong. I think I remember it being like Sorewa chigayo, which is just like that's wrong, but I only played the first one though. Good, this statement from verified for 2 reasons. 1, specificity. It has shorter time frame and describes a clearer set of events. Physicality. Gideon's testimony now is consistent with the records from the control panel. I can assume that any verified statement like this is true. What's more, the contradiction weakened the suspect's resolve. Oh, interesting. Oh, he's shining! He's shiny! Oh, our streamer actually watches him. Hi, Raidakai, welcome! His Eye of Providence glows, which allows me to enter his sanctum, the digital representation of the mind. Let's use his third eye to enter his sanctum and see what truly motivates the suspect. What is happening? What? Evident narcissist. What? Okay. More? We only cracked the outer layer of his sanctum this time. If only it was that easy. If only it was that easy. Still, let's examine the psychological... Oh, yes! This is the stuff I love. Interesting. The information will help me discern which statements to trust. Let's quickly examine each statement in his testimony again. Oh, I wanted to click that. Excellent. Some of the statements are now supported by the suspect's psychology. Found in Gideon's sanctums, craves attention and sincerely believes that he is the best cybernetician in the world. So, psychology, narcissist, physical. Okay. Next, I must find correlations between the suspect's behavior and existing demon. What? Let's open the demonology. What is it called? The Maleficarum? Lucifer the Proud. Oh, that's so cool. The Prince of Demons and the eternal adversary of Ein Sof manifests in the ambitious and strong world, so we just have to look for like a Beelzebub. Debilitates the hosts. No worries, Ride-A-Car. Of course, everything's... I thank you for dropping by and for the like, but you don't have to... Everybody's allowed their own preferences. We're Persona now. Envy? Maybe that's what the other guy has. Lucifer the Proud. Malleus Maleficarum. There we go. Thank you. Bet the other guy is this one. That's a cool design, though. If the suspect is possessed, there should be a psychological evidence that has a clear correlation with a daemon. To obtain further psychological evidence, I must find more contradictions to present them to the subject. Now that I've heard the testimony and gathered evidence, I can accuse the suspect. What are you accusing him of? To accuse the suspect, I must establish the opportunity, means, and motive of the crime. I can try as many times as I wish, but there is only one true answer for each section. Let's try to establish the opportunity. Okay, looks like there's no penalties for wrong answers, which is not a terrible thing. Let's present the section of the suspect's testimony. When could I have possibly... Good. If it's a valid answer, the suspect will be forced to admit they could have committed the murder at that time. Otherwise, the suspect will give a counter-argument as to why that's impossible. Okay, so it was a little confusing, but it's gonna, like, you're the one that handled it. Playing the right, we are playing the prosecutor. I played Ace Attorney, the Edgeworth one, but I never loved it. I thought there was more they could do. Did you ever watch the Pinocchio 2022 movie trailer? Is that the one with the funny voice actor? If the cornet was damaged during the events of this morning. Next, let's establish the means. For this, I need to present physical evidence. Okay, so this would be the limiter. I took it out. Good. Same as before, the suspect will accept my evidence if it's valid. And deny it if they can explain why I'm wrong. While you're adjusting the cornet, you remove the limiter. That's nonsense. Do you really think I would forget to replace the crown jewel of my masterpiece? And then... finally, let's establish the motive. I don't know what his motive would be. Oh, just the psychological? I need to present psychological evidence from their own sanctum. Good. If he is the culprit, then presented with the correct motive, the daemon within him will compel him to speak the truth. If not, he will deny my claim. You are a self-absorbed man. Everything you do feeds into your pride. To you, Mother Miriam was a mere prop for your masterpiece. You carelessly caused her death in pursuit of artistic glory. How dare you! I took the utmost care in everything I did for Mother Miriam. The coronet was designed to be worn by her. Without her, it will forever remain imperfect. I would never risk anything that could harm my work or Mother Miriam. Okay, then... The accusation was unsuccessful, which means I must investigate further. Let's cancel for now and leave the suspect.
Then I rose up, opened the
These changed. Okay, okay.
Rose up, opened my eyes, and approached the control panel. I was ready to begin. The aether output was dangerously high, but I had the chamber under control.
Aren't there like 3 Pinocchio movies? I heard about that. Did we ask about these? You've now admitted that the ceremony was risky. What makes you so confident that you maintained control? Because I am a maestro. I remember every bit of my performance. Nothing that I did could have overcome the cornet limiter. Oh, Choco Korone! You're right, from Lucky Star. Okay, let's...
Mother Miriam came to me for her consecration ceremony.
Let's leave. Okay, there we go. I really like this. This UI is really clean.
Mother Miriam came to us to receive a consecration ceremony, but she wanted something extravagant.
Pokemon. Oh, Jack, what do you think of the new starters? You and Gideon greeted Mother Miriam together. That's right, Mother Miriam is our patron, so I insisted on being present.
Gideon suggested setting the coronet to have maximum ether output. I warned him that doing so is highly dangerous.
So is accused what brings us... Okay. They didn't heed your warning? Why not? Gideon believes that his so-called genius makes him impervious to danger. An ordinary man might fail, but not Gideon the Grand. As for Mother Miriam, she only has ears for Gideon. Today was no different. You're jealous. They made a plant cat. I like the kitty. I know I'm boring and I'm just weak for like the cute small animals. But I'm feeling the kitty. It's green. It's green. Yeah, the duck. I can see the duck maybe having like the coolest evolution. Curious, Reuben claims he went back to his workstation. What does Gideon say? Let's switch to his testimony. Oh.
To prepare for this.
Gideon claims that Reuben opened the door to the consecration chamber. Let's go back to Reuben. Wait.
Gideon convinced her to move forward with the ceremony.
Oh, here we go.
Since he was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks.
They're all so cute. They're all cool. Look, Neopet. Oh, that's interesting. They're all so cute. I have no idea which one I'm picking. I know I tend to, unless I have one that I absolutely know I'm gonna pick, I tend to like to see how they evolve. Lies unmasked. I want a voice line for this. That's a missed opportunity. Reuben Garamond, you did not return to your workstation after the discussion. Gideon ordered you to open the consecration chamber for Mother Miriam. I don't know, I lost interest in Pokemon after Ultra Sun and Moon. I haven't lost interest, but I've definitely like fallen behind on playing the games. I didn't I haven't played RCS, and I feel like I'm still gonna be a bit burnt out for a little bit, but I didn't play Diamond and Pearl either. I still love Pokemon, it's just their commitment. Ordered me? Is that what he told you? Despite his delusions, Gideon is certainly not my master. I did open the chamber, it's true. I apologize for the omission. It's a regular part of our routine that had slipped my mind earlier. Okay. Reuben has amended his testimony. Let's examine open chamber. RCS Rild, I do want to get to it one day. Good, the statement from Reuben's testimony is now verified for 2 reasons. 1. Corroboration. Gideon's testimony confirms that Reuben opened the door for Mother Miriam. 2. Specificity. It is a shorter time frame and describes a clearer set of events. I can assume that any verified statement like this is true. Okay. I'm a little overwhelmed by this sort of information. I get a bit overwhelmed by, but like the overall time. Oh, you have your thingy. The last Pokemon games I played were all Touhou mod. I played some Touhoumon mods back in the day. Okay, you're gonna be jealousy or something. Believer. What does that mean? Found in Reuben's sanctum, faithful servant of Ein Sof, or so he thinks. He knows that cybernetics are a critical part of the one truth. Cybernetics empower us in the eyes of the one true God, Ein Sof. I'm honored to be of service. Okay?
They decided to perform the ceremony anyway. I opened the consecration chamber, while Gideon brought the coronet.
The difficulty spikes because the trainers are perfect IV. Actually, one thing I've never done is done proper IV training or anything. Pokemon! It is! I didn't even think about that. The door was closed until this point. Why did you not close it after Mother Miriam entered? Because I knew Gideon was bringing the coronet soon. The ceremony had yet to begin anyway, so it was still safer to keep the chamber open.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything,
What were you working on? I was restoring a ceremonial spear for tonight's mass. It is a magnificent relic. I think Abbot Gregory will be pleased with the result. Okay, try to stop.
when Gideon activated the consecration chamber, I immediately felt something was wrong. I begged Gideon to stop, but he didn't listen.
Why did you ask Gideon to stop? Why not force him? Couldn't you open the chamber and push Gideon aside? Interrupting the ceremony would have been more dangerous. Had I opened the chamber, the energy would have been let loose into the workshop. Had I pushed Gideon away, no one would have been controlling the energy gathered within the chamber. In either case, my actions would have resulted in a greater catastrophe.
Then the unthinkable happened.
Okay.
Mother Miriam, since Gideon was going to handle...
Yes, he approached the control panel at that time. I saw Gideon pray before the ceremony began. He did that right, at least.
Mother Miriam came to us to... Gideon suggested
Okay,
Mother
so can we
Miriam
contradict?
came to us to receive a consecration.
Oh, no?
Gideon suggested setting the coronet to have maximum ether output.
Because they say only one was present. That's what I'm trying to get at. But...
Mother Miriam came to me for her consecration ceremony. I've performed this many times before, so...
Oh! So it was you who were... Okay, it was you who were lying. Lies, Gideon. Reuben tells me he was with you when Mother Miriam arrived. What? Come to think of it, yes, he was standing there, scowling as usual. He was not just standing there, he tried to stop you. Mother Miriam wanted her cornet to be extraordinary, so you convinced her to increase its aether output. Reuben warned you about the danger, but you insisted to Mother Miriam that the ceremony was safe. I love my brother, but Reuben can be a sniveling coward. He's exaggerating the risk. Yes, the ceremony had some danger. However, it was well within my abilities. I made no error. This is how it happened. Okay.
Mother Miriam came to me for her consecration ceremony.
You're still saying you're alone. Hey. Well, they're both corroborated. Okay.
Mother Miriam.
I have nothing to add what I said. Okay. Okay, specificity. So I guess we want to get like more information about stuff. Okay, now I gotta think. Operation, return to work. I think we want to get more stuff. Praying together. Ceremony starts. I'm just thinking now. Oh, we can also... Oh, wait, you have more stuff. I wasn't thinking. Skeptic. What does that mean? Found in Gideon's sanctum, speaks and acts virtuously in public, but doesn't really believe in the one truth or the daemons. Weren't they rooted out 100 years ago? I'm a faithful member of the Abbey, but surely daemons are a thing of the past. There hasn't been a murder in 100 years, sister. Why would one happen now? Interesting.
Gideon suggested setting the coronet to have maximum ether output. I warned him that doing so is highly dangerous. They decided...
Chose to help it by opening the door, and
Since Gideon was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks.
I think we asked you about all these. Skepticism is like doubt. Yes, I know. can we... let's ask about the stuff now. This is a nightmare. I've always taken extra precautions so that nothing like this could ever happen. And yet here we are. Mother Miriam would still be alive if Gideon was more careful. Time for me to sleep. Thank you. Thank you so much for hanging around, Min. Have a good night. Are these the only pieces that were found in the chamber? I see the casing and the amplifier, but the limiter seems to be missing. How could that be? Okay, he recognizes that. For safety reasons, this button is the only way to open the consecration chamber's door. The control panel is used to modulate aether output in the consecration chamber. Okay, ask Gideon. Stay safe, remember to hydrate. Yes, I have some tea here. Okay. Mother Miriam's coronet was built according to these exact specifications. If Gideon performed the ceremony correctly, the coronet would have been safe to install. This is what I was working on during the ceremony. Okay, that's a spear. Father Augustine, a visiting scholar, asked me to help restore this relic. Oh, evidence found Augustine. Oh, a visiting scholar who studies daemons and the aether. You look like you could either be very cool or very evil. Father Augustine is a scholar of daemons and etheric technologies. Using tea, be careful of the caffeine. Oh, I'm fine, I'm fine. He's made truly remarkable discoveries in his theoretical works. You should ask Gideon about that too. You found it on Gideon's desk? It's no wonder that the coronet exploded. The imbecile must have forgotten to replace it after adjusting the coronet's amplification. Despicable. The consecration ceremony is an installation process to augment one's public... Whoa. I want that. The consecration chamber is sealed during the ceremony to prevent any disruption. Sadly, it seems that wasn't enough this time. Poor Mother Miriam, killed by Gideon's arrogance.
When Gideon activated the consecration chamber, I immediately...
Okay, so those aren't... Ceremony starts... Prayer... But, okay, let's go back to let's see if we can...
The aether output was dangerously high, but I had the chamber under control.
He is not contradicting, because he doesn't talk about him being stopped. Okay. Let's ask about... Oh, we can't ask you about Augustine? Or now we can. My brother idolizes that man. I don't understand it. Theories and histories. Pointless. Okay. Oh, we can ask about these as well. I am indeed talented and proud of it. Ein Sof granted me my gifts, and I'll gladly use them for his glory. Reuben has always been devout, serious, and boring. We can't all be grand, I suppose. I'm a faithful member of the Abbey, but okay, yes, that... I want to get one of Reuben's contradictions.
When Gideon activated the consecration chamber, I immediately felt something was wrong.
Gideon is a vapid idiot who only cares about glory. Now his arrogance has gotten someone killed. Cybernetics appear us in the eyes of the one true God, Ein Sof. Oh, that's such an interesting idea about cybernetics being used. I mean, we know this is sort of a cyberpunky thing, but... Cybernetics and religion. My brother never understood the importance of our work or our faith. Okay, I feel like they gotta get some contradiction here. He acts the part of a zealot, but he only cares about the here and now.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks.
I feel like it's something with the return to work, but I'm not totally sure. Oh, yes. I love the character design. Me too. I love this like slightly geometric, painterly style. Everybody has gold on them. Gideon thought he heard something during his prayer. It doesn't mean anything. He could have imagined it. Hoping for a bit more there. Okay. You not get anything out of any of these? I can see a clear missing part of the testimony here. None of these. Hello, Darkness Texting Stories. Welcome. I'm a tiny bit trying to figure this out.
They decided to perform the ceremony anyway. I opened the consecration chamber.
Okay. What's the part that you're seeing, Zosid? I'm a little... Maybe it's because I'm trying to balance chat and everything, but I'm not totally following
Since Gideon
it.
was going to handle everything.
Go back to Gideon, actually.
Meanwhile, I adjusted the coronet's amplification at my work table, and then placed it on Mother Miriam's head. We began by closing our eyes.
Oh yeah, the chamber opened and closed twice. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Didn't think much of it.
I'm not sure which things to contradict, though.
Then I rose up, opened my eyes, and the aether output was dangerously high, but I had the chamber under control.
Which part? Hold on. I want you to go through this again.
Meanwhile, to prepare for the ceremony, I ordered Reuben to take Mother Miriam to the consecration chamber.
Yeah, okay.
Meanwhile, I adjusted the coronet's
Guessing ceremony starts in open chamber? Okay. I see. Okay.
Then I rose up, opened
Predict,
my eyes,
open
and approached
chamber.
the control.
Okay, we'll try it the other way around, because I think that's... Is it
Since
dependent
Gideon was
on...
going to handle, they decided to perform the ceremony anyway. I opened the...
Okay. Not sure if it depends on... I see the contradictions too, but I'm not sure which to present, which is a very Phoenix Wright thing.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything, I went back to my task.
And ask him about his side of things. Approach the control panel. I feel bad, stuck in the tutorial case. Didn't really have to ask.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything,
we definitely have all the evidence. Just present the attorney. Just present the attorney, but indeed, yes. I have one on my waist here a little bit, if you can see. More of a pendant, but I think it'll work in a pinch. That's one of my favorite running jokes when you actually get something with that. Oh, maybe we did have to leave. Excellent, I've gone through the fundamental steps of investigating a murder. However, there's much I have yet to uncover about this incident. I should continue to find more information, contradict the suspects with them, and try to accuse a suspect. No one will tell me when I'm ready to accuse. That is entirely up to my discretion. However, there are no consequences for a failed accusation. Each failure will bring me closer to the truth of the incident. That doesn't... I don't think trial and error is how the law should work. Oh, we can zoom in now. I think we got all the... I definitely think we... Do you have anything else to say? The chamber and the ceremony seem to be at the crux of this incident. We should pay close attention to who opened the chamber and when. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Accuse everyone. Just till we get there. Okay, means... How could I have affected the chamber of Miriam? With the limiter. There's nothing faulty with the coronet itself. Indeed, the craftsmanship was flawless, as was Gideon's performance of the ceremony. We removed the limiter from the coronet without Gideon's knowledge, which, coupled with the coronet's high amplification, caused an oversurge. Gideon's arrogance may have endangered Mother Miriam. Hey, the law may be different. I'm just so charmed by, like, trial and error. Oh my god. At least Phoenix Wright, they give you like a life bar. Opportunity. You're accusing me of sabotage. When could I have done this? If I was in the chamber then, Gideon... Okay. Gideon or Mother Miriam would have seen me. What about when Gideon or Mother Miriam were praying? We can get more information out of this. I was still working at the time. Okay, do I have any proof that he wasn't? That's what I'm trying to find. During the ceremony, no one was inside the chamber other than Mother Miriam. If you're accusing me of sabotage, when could I have done any of this? Okay. Why would I want to harm her? And all we have is, like, believe her. So we gotta find proof that he wasn't there working.
Mother Miriam came to us to receive a since
Which,
Gideon was going to
I just
handle
think...
everything, I went back to my tasks.
In chamber...
They decided to perform the since Gideon
It's gotta
was
be
going
with
to
something
handle
like this. This is
I
not
went back to my
Japanifornia. Or San Francisco. I've read articles about... I think that the early localization of Phoenix Wright is super, super interesting, how we ended up with this weird mix. And then as more and more games came out, it became harder and harder to manage. Like they always liked burgers, and then we get to like Apollo Justice, and they actually show the noodle bar that they went to. There's got to be like a contradiction here. Currently, Gideon could have easily done the murder. He was tinkered with the coronet and he had the limiter. That is true. Which is why I think they're making us think it's him, but... doesn't mean anything. He could have imagined it. Can't we... I feel like we should... So none of these... None of these... Well, let's talk to Gideon again. I'm still not sure if these are one way or the other. I mean, if they work both ways, but can we... Okay, we did that. Contradict. Occam's razor, yeah. Occam's razor has to be, has to be the simplest.
We began by closing our eyes and praying together to Ein Sof.
I still feel like there's something in the return to work that I don't know which
Then I
to...
rose up, opened my eyes, and the ether output was dangerous.
I'm just checking some contradictions.
Mother, to prepare for the ceremony, I ordered Reuben to take.
With motive, time, and some personality, you might be able to force more. Oh, okay, let's try that. We haven't tried that. Accuse. Oh, this is still here. Opportunity. So are these... So do the colors mean they're correct or not correct? Okay, well we can get more okay, looks like we can talk it out more like this. You claimed to have prayed before the ceremony, but in truth this was when you began your sabotage. Absurd, surely. Reuben would have seen me had I done anything else. When could I possibly have harmed Mother Miriam? Okay. And then... let's go back and actually... I feel bad being a little...
Anyway. I opened the
stuck in the
chamber, while
tutorial.
Coronet.
Cues. Hit limiter. Return to work. Your faith is what drove you to kill Mother Miriam. Well, if they give you... I like that they give you dialogue for everything at least. Why would you think so? If anything, my faith is the proof that I would not have hurt a priestess. Definitely... Return to work, believer. Let's try... we have another... we do have the other personality trait for...
To prepare for the ceremony, I ordered...
for the... you. Your faith is weak, Gideon. Indeed, you have questioned the teachings of the church. You killed Mother Miriam because you have utter disdain for our faith. What nonsense! My skepticism merely serves to fuel my creativity. One must be open to all possibilities to create truly original works. Besides, this does not explain how I would wish to kill Mother Miriam in particular. I loved Mother Miriam. Why would I hurt her? Maybe there's something to do with the spear Reuben says he was making. Maybe you can find out. Oh, yeah. I don't know if we asked, did we ask you about it? Oh, is that Reuben's little project? Whatever keeps him busy is fine by me. So if one of the 3 accusations fits a possibility, then it'll let you place it. It seems to let you place anything, but I'm not sure, what the colors mean. Yeah, I would like to find out more about the spear. It just got us learning about this guy, but... okay, we asked about that. We asked about Miriam? Mother Miriam was my guiding light. I would have done anything for her. I would never harm her. I swear it. I don't know if I asked you about Miriam.
They decided to perform the ceremony anyway.
Mother Miriam was our primary benefactor. Without her patronage, we wouldn't have even have this workshop. I loved her. If only she hadn't trusted Gideon and his boasting, she'd still be alive. Okay, we asked you. What I was working on. Proud of my work.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything, I went back to my task.
I feel like there's a contradiction somewhere, but I'm not. Yeah, like we start getting something here with her during his prayer. It doesn't mean anything. He could have imagined it. Can you accuse him about killing her through keeping the chamber? Okay, I'll try that. Possibly. Just... They say it's trial and error. Okay, accuse means door controls? Nothing to do with this. Gideon handled everything for the ceremony. Okay, control panel. Gideon never lets me touch the control panel. This has nothing to do with me. How could I have affected the chamber, Mother Miriam? It doesn't seem to like that. Oh, these blueprints prove that you have an intimate knowledge of the coronet's inner mechanisms. Of course, because I designed and built them. Thus, you have expertise to damage the coronet and sabotage the ceremony. Fair enough, but that only proves I could have done it, not that I actually did it. Gideon was the one that operated the device. How could I have affected the chamber, Mother Miriam? Maybe you stabbed her with a spear. Yeah. I'm just checking stuff. Okay, doesn't like anything to do with the ceremony. I did build the inner mechanisms of the coronet, but I dare you to prove that there's anything faulty with my work. No machinery can account for the utterly reckless usage like that, what Gideon did today. But you removed the limiter. You did that. But you ensured she would die from it. When we present return to work. Still working at that time. Do I prove he wasn't? If I do, I should contradict him with it first before accusing him. See, that's what we need to find, but I'm not sure what the... Let's... And we've done the motive. What happens if we present somebody else's thing? Okay, yeah, that doesn't work. Maybe contradicting Ruben, return to work in door controls. Okay, thank you. Let's see, return to work with door controls? Which is... Return to work doesn't seem to... contradict with any of these besides... There's something in the prayer. We can't... Door controls the object, can we? Oh, thank you. I forgot that I could do objects. Sorry. You test my patience, Ruben. Has your memory slipped once more? The door records show that the consecration chamber was opened twice today. Given that Gideon was praying during this time, only you could have opened the chamber. It's true that I opened the chamber again, just before the ceremony started. But I had my reasons. Something about the chamber seemed unseemly. Given what happened to Mother Miriam, I feel vindicated in my fears. Tell me what you did to the chamber. Oh, there we go. Thank you. I'm annoyed I didn't see that.
Since Gideon was going to handle everything, I went back to my tasks.
Okay. What are you working on? Okay, is this the same? Okay. Check chamber.
I opened the consecration chamber to verify that the coronet was in working order.
What were you checking? To perform the consecration chamber safely, precision is critical. I wanted to make sure that the coronet was placed correctly on Mother Miriam. Turn to work again.
Everything seemed fine, so I returned to my desk again.
What were you working on? Oh, same thing. Okay, now we can't. Now can we accuse opportunity? Check chamber? During the prayer, you claimed to have opened the chamber to check the materials. This was when. Oh, okay, that got gold. That probably means it's correct. This is when you sabotaged the ceremony. But believers. Then return to work. Can we still need, I think we still need to get like another motive from him. Just got done drawing, Gab. Congrats! Oh, I need to, there's a bunch of Ruina characters I really want to draw one day. So his opportunity was when he checked the chamber. Yes. So it looks like gold is correct. Let's see what Gideon has to say about...
Then I rose up, opened my eyes, and approached the control panel. We began...
He opened the chamber while I was praying? That seems paranoid even for him. Let's ask... Did Ruben return to work? I have no idea. That's not important here anyhow. Specificity? No.
Meanwhile...
Since Gideon was going to
Oh, it did. What have we got? Still think jealous. Envy. There it is. I got achievement unlocked. 2 brothers interrogator. That feels... Getting an achievement feels good. Found in Ruben's sanctum. Why does Gideon get the credit for all of Ruben's hard work? If only Gideon could be exposed for being the fraud that he is. Me? Envious of Gideon? Ha! Unlikely. His artistry would be nothing without my designs. He doesn't know the first thing about how our implants actually work. All his work is trite, superficial. Why anyone gives him the attention is beyond me. I so want the breakdowns to be voiced. Mother Miriam's death was merely a means to the end. Humiliation of Gideon. You envy your brother's success. You want his fame, his glory. Now can I...
Ein Sof sees all, Ruben.
Oh, good.
You killed Mother Miriam to frame Gideon and take him down a peg. With Gideon gone, a daemon whispered that people would finally recognize you for your genius.
I am older than Gideon. My work is better than Gideon, and more important. But no one sees my work. No one understands my work.
Confess, Ruben. Tell us what the daemon made you do.
Oh, what's going on now? What is that?
Demonic corruption runs deep within Ruben's soul. Yet Ruben may still be saved.
The evil demon chanting music.
I must speak the daemon's true name. Then the daemon will be cast out. Ein Sof, guide me. What daemon has possessed Ruben?
Lotan the Envious, speak the name.
Out, Lotan! Leave this soul and return whence you came!
Oh, that's a great design. I'd have that as my persona.
Magnificently done, Madam Exorcist.
The power of Ein Sof compels you, Lotan. Leave this soul and return to the ether.
Thousands of years, and you humans never change. Never satisfied, always comparing, wanting more.
You accidentally skipped the True Testament. I wasn't sure. You're right. I was so curious about the glowing red eye.
Someone else is always richer, prettier, wiser, better. Nothing can ever fill that void within you. Not even me.
Silence, Lotan. Ruben may yet be redeemed. You are a scourge. Without your influence, a good woman would still be alive. Leave humans be, Lotan. I banish you to the ether!
As you wish, but I'll return soon enough.
Or it quite polite. I banish you. Okay, thanks, bye.
My prince and master Lucifer walks among you. Lucifer will open the gates of hell, and at last, humanity will remember its full potential.
Cool beans.
Until then, Madam Exorcist, adieu.
Come forth, Reuben. What remains of you?
Thank.
Went to the Shadow Realm.
He's silent and still. Poor soul. Rest, Reuben. Heal, if you can.
Sister Ada, you've returned. Was there a demon at work after all?
What? Where did we go? Did we actually go to, like, the demon sanctum?
I'm afraid so. The exorcism was a success. Reuben's soul has been purged. Unfortunately, the daemon was difficult to cleanse. Reuben is returned to pure innocence.
Interesting. The baby?
What? The exorcism shattered his mind? Can you bring him back?
It's out of my hands. If Ain Suf wills it, maybe Reuben will heal.
Guards, please escort this shell to the cryostasis cellar.
Oh. That's not great.
I pray for his swift recovery. Abbot Gregory.
That's an evil face.
Praise be to Ein Sof, Sister Ada. You have saved us all. On behalf of everyone at St. Walpurgis, I express our utmost gratitude.
We are not yet safe. We must act quickly until we locate the source of the demonic influence. We don't understand yet why demons would act after 100 years.
Better get cracking on that.
Holy Father, we must quarantine the abbey and the surrounding town immediately.
It's contagious?
Detain and interrogate anyone who seems suspicious.
We can try, Sister Ada, but it will be difficult, as we have visitors arriving hourly. Much like yourself, pilgrims from afar are here to celebrate Walpurgis now.
Witch's Night.
It's such a shame Mother Miriam couldn't bear witness to it.
Ah, yes. The priestess. We must destroy her body immediately.
Why?
Traces of demonic influence may remain from her contact with Reuben.
No, Sister Ada, thank you for your concern, but we absolutely cannot.
You're evil. You're totally evil.
Mother Miriam was a prominent figure and well-loved, with decades of service. We must treat her body with dignity and give her a proper burial. Send Mother Miriam's body to the mortuary for embalming.
Your Excellency, we really ought to take the advice of the exorcist.
Mother Miriam's body has been desecrated enough, Virgil. Send her to the mortuary. Now.
Meant.
As you command, Your Excellency.
Holy Father, you are making a grave mistake.
He's possessed.
Sister Ada, don't worry yourself. All will be well.
Can you really?
St. Walpurgis' triumph over Lucifer has brought us a century of peace and bliss.
Okay, you're possessed by Lucifer.
It's horrifying that a demon was exorcised from our abbey, but surely it was the final remnant.
The daemon within Reuben spoke of Lucifer's return. Lucifer's ways are insidious. Even the most devout among us have temptations.
She said the words! She said the words!
It's a shame Brother Reuben fell to the demon. But the rest of my flock is stronger. Faith shall be their shield. Now, please excuse me. This evening's mass requires my attention.
Wait, don't call people a flock.
We are honored by your presence, Sister
Never ends
Ada.
well.
Praise be to Ein Sof.
Even the Holy Father can be foolish then. Ein Sof. Let it not be true that Lucifer walks. But if it is,
He said the thing!
Ein Sof, guide me, that I may unmask all lies, no matter how painful.
The daemon's final words haunted me. Lucifer was already... I'm sorry. Lucifer was already among us. I wanted to destroy Mother Miriam's body to purge any traces of demonic influence. Abbot Gregory did not heed my words. Mother Miriam was to be given a proper burial. That afternoon, Inquisitor Virgil sent for me, asking urgently to meet him at the graveyard. I know, in fairness, that's what actual priests... I know. It just seems like... return to the flock. Like people's sheep. I know the symbolism, but... Lucifer's already among us. When I was like writing my thumbnail and schedule, I was so sure I was actually gonna accidentally call the game Lucifer Among Us by accident. They did it for me. Oh, graveyard.
Praise Ein Sof. Thank you for coming to our aid so quickly, Sister Ada.
You said it was urgent. Has something happened to Mother Miriam's body?
No, in some ways, that would have been easier. There is now a second untimely death.
Oh no!
Another murder. On the very same day. This can't be a coincidence.
That isn't for me to say, but this time, the victim is a younger acolyte named Isaac.
Not Isaac!
His remains were found in the grave that was dug for Mother Miriam. Poor kid's throat was slit.
Oh, that's not nice.
Gruesome. Who was at the graveyard when the body was found?
Only 3 people were present this afternoon. A scholar, an embalmer, and a grave tender.
Three suspects, okay. Okay, do we think it's the scholar, an embalmer, or grave tender?
Father Augustine is a scholar, visiting for Mother Miriam's funeral. The victim was his apprentice.
That's the guy who was mentioned earlier.
Sister Nerissa, an embalmer with a sterling reputation, preparing Mother Miriam's body for burial. Finally, Abraham, the grave tender, a layman who has kept the grounds of the abbey for many years.
It must have been Iron. That was beautifully timed with Abraham.
None of them say they were near the grave until after the body was discovered.
Is this what Shinbagami Tensei Cross Ace Attorney? Yeah, indeed.
Which means
with a
someone
good
is
punch
lying.
of the pinch of cyberpunk.
No matter. Ein Sof sees all. We will unmask their lies and bring the truth forward. I swear it.
Okay, is there a save button? Okay, I'm assuming it's auto-saving. Are we just in here? You're Virgil. You're the scholar. Oh, hi, child. I have no idea what to do. Come watch me. We're solving murder mysteries. You're just at the beginning of a new one. Okay, we have a bigger thing. Let's look at the evidence. Let's look at the interactables first. Headstone. Look at this cybertronic headstone. Noble's grave. The immaculately maintained grave shows the genealogy of an illustrious family. There isn't a blade of grass out of place around the stone. Sickle. Its lightweight blade slices through the air to trim grass and chop weeds. Its sharp edge could easily injure someone. Okay, so possible murder weapon. Saint Walpurga. Interesting that your saint is a witch. The statue of Saint Walpurga, the founder of the abbey and patron saint of exorcists. Well, yes, exorcism. This is technically Ace Attorney of Cyberpunk City. Interrogations of oh yeah, mediums. It is pretty... It is... I mean... Mediums are such an interesting thing to have added to Ace Attorney. Aether scanner. A portable aether-powered device for recording images and text. That could always be useful. Okay, that looks just like the body. Isaac? Oh, there is an actual Saint Walpurga? Oh, I didn't know that. Cool. The victim, a teenage youth aspiring to be a scholar. Raised in a church, he joined Augustine as his apprentice 8 months ago. And the apprentice's youthful face is serene above his bleh, with no bruising. However, an angry scar runs across his stomach. On the DS screen. I mean, to be fair, like every DS game when it came out had weird gimmicks. In fact, Walpurgis Night is named after Saint Walpurga, who was a protector against we. Ah, thank you, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I love streaming and learning stuff like this. What is this? The Devil's Herb. I knew something nefarious is afoot. The Abbey must be perfect. Okay. We found one of those before, but it didn't seem to do anything. Surgical multi-tool. Found on the staircase between the mortuary and the grave, an aether power tool for making incisions, applying preservatives, and closing wounds. So maybe they like stole an organ from him? Oh, can we go inside? Oh, cool. I didn't even notice. Devil's Herb? Yeah, I wonder why we're bringing it up. Oh, footprints. Always good. Muddy footprint. Found on the floors of the mortuary, still wet. Leads from the back exit of the mortuary to the embalming table. Okay. A bundle of fresh blossoms likely found on a grave. Why were they on the floor? Graveyard schedule. The records show 2 notable entries for today, both explicitly authorized by Abbot Gregory. Funeral for Mother Miriam at sundown. Visit by Father Augustine. Unrestricted access granted. Okay, so he had unrestricted access. Yeah, there's an organ or something. Bloody liver. Found on the table with other entrails, still partially Ugh. Here's mangled in some way, perhaps smashed. Do demons live in livers now? Identified as Mother Miriam, there's a large incision down her stomach, judging from the uneven coloring and chemical scent. She appears partially embalmed. Oh, and newly appointed. Okay, scheduled. Okay. Okay. I haven't gotten achievement, so I assume there's another piece of evidence I'm missing before we. That we haven't seen yet. I'm just looking again. Really try to eat liver. Ugh. I mean, I guess I have tried liver, but you have to pay the bill somehow. Aren't they a church? I don't know how it all works in this world. These are still the footprints. I wish there was like a highlight. Oh, here we go. Highlight all evidence, like disco. Found hanging in the back area of the mortuary, heavy, bulky, and caked with dirt. I think I'm missing something. Umiho. I don't know much about. Hold on. Anything that I'm missing? The demonic covenant business has been quite slow in recent years. Fair enough. Seems really good at yeah. Hold on. I feel like I'm missing one thing. I got achievements for the other stuff. Maybe it's not unlocked yet. Okay. Let's talk to you. Hello, Augustine.
You must be Father Augustine. The victim was your apprentice, correct?
Correct. And you are Sister Ada, the Exorcist. It is a unique pleasure.
I'm back. What are we doing now? We just started the second case. Thank you, but I only serve Ein Sof according to my calling. Why are you here, Father? How do I do this? I'm visiting in preparation for Mother Miriam's sudden funeral. I need to hear his voice more. It is a true blessing to witness your holy work, Sister Ada. I pray Isaac can rest in peace. How long did Isaac study under you? Did you know him well? He was a fine apprentice, a ready mind and willing soul. I will mourn him in my own way. But I must witness the prospect of witnessing an exorcism is an unexpected silver lining. If I find you guilty, Father Augustine, you'll find the experience to be unpleasant. Tell me now, what happened this afternoon? Leave nothing out. This guy's the daemon. Yes, yeah. I began by taking an afternoon stroll. Go? I'll just let this play.
I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral. Isaac headed to the mortuary on a minor errand.
Looks like he's meeting with the embalmer.
Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurga. What craftsmanship, and so well maintained. Glorious.
He's having a great time. That's fair, statues are cool.
For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard, merely observing and admiring.
I mean, whatever floats your boat. We can skip ahead a bit. Not saying anything else. What's that there?
At sunset, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac. I was surprised to find an open grave with something inside. Isaac. I was horrified to discover that it was Isaac's dead body. That's when I called for help.
Okay. Admiring a graveyard seems totally normal. I mean, I've done it. When a parent was working nearby, so I had to spend like the afternoon at a graveyard. I mean, it was in the afternoon, and then there were cool statues. This one has cool statues at least, but you can't just sort of wander and look at the names and dates. Sometimes they have inscriptions and stuff to read at. It wouldn't have been my choice of afternoon, but I mean, if you have nothing else, there's stuff to look at. But given this long empty slot here, I think we'll ask more about stuff. Indeed, were you close to her, Father? No, but the abbot was busy with mass preparations to hold her funeral, so I was trusted with the task.
Then
Was there something particular about this statue that caught your eye? Given its age, it's been immaculately maintained. The groundskeeper must be skilled.
For most of the afternoon, I was...
That is a lengthy stroll. Tell me more about what you were doing. You doubt me? Show me proof. Oh, this is the goofy thing that you get in like LA Noire, where you inexplicably have people being like, show me the evidence.
At sunset, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac. I was surprised to find an open grave with something inside.
I mean, look at this guy's obviously goth, so this is completely ordinary. When I was a little kid, my dad would occasionally take my siblings. Yeah, I mean, I do remember doing it when I was younger as well, but it was more to see the church. It was more to see the church itself than the graveyard. At least it's clearly letting you know you can prove otherwise. Press X to doubt. No, I'm definitely thinking that L.A. Noire. Too bad they don't have changing facial expressions. We could do that. I love L.A. Noire. Did you see anyone? No, I was the only one near the grave.
I was horrified to discover that it was Isaac's dead.
So you were the first to arrive at the grave? Yes, I was. Okay. Ask him, was that the thing that was on? That's my ether scanner. I use it to record images and parse them into glyphs. So why was it on the grave? Guess we might as well just ask all these. It's preserved in a remarkable condition. Marvelous craftsmanship too. That tall man with the beard. I think I saw him holding it at one point. What's your favorite Danganronpa character? I only played the first one. Sakura, probably. Sakura. I don't remember it too well. I enjoyed it for what it was, but I was never, like, into it, like, in a fandom way. Thought it was neat, but I never got super into it like some people do. I'll press F. I remember my sister once making a press F to pay respects joke, and she's like very, very normal. So I wasn't expecting her to make like a video game joke, and I asked her about it, and it turned out she had no idea it came from video games originally. It's like, oh, it's just like a TikTok meme. These children, they don't know the origins of anything. They don't know their history. They don't know Call of Duty's press X to pay respects. Becoming F? Well, what can we do with them? It's like once I heard her on TikTok and Baka Mitai started playing, and I got really excited, but didn't know. I was like, what? It's just a TikTok. It doesn't mean anything. Normies. I was trying to avoid that word. That is absolutely. His face. It's as if he just fell asleep. But how could this be? He has no enemies. Is it possible I was the intended target? Horrifying to consider. My path has not crossed one of these devices before. Must be a tool of some sort, but for what purpose I can only guess. It's an interesting thing they brought up that he could have been the target. It definitely feels like some organ stealing is going on. Also press Y to shame, press E to doubt. Footprints in the mortuary? Unfortunately, I know nothing about this. Perhaps they are Isaac's? Okay, he probably doesn't know much. Beautiful. Was it with Isaac? I'd asked him to fetch me a bouquet. Strange. Oh, oldest gravestone is from 1803. That's before Mexico was a country. That's so wild when that, like, some of our history is so short. Or, like, not that long ago. Yes, as you can see, Mother Miriam's funeral is scheduled here. I'd come to pay my respects. The ceremony was rushed, but I promised the abbot I'd do right by her. Liver? This was in Mother Miriam's body? I've conducted several anatomical studies, and I've never seen an organ mangled this way. Mother Miriam's remains? I'd heard the accident was unsightly. I'd hoped for a closed coffin ceremony. You know anything about this shovel? Even if I had seen that, it looks far too heavy for me to have used. I mean, a shovel? I guess it says it's heavy and bulky, but I mean, it's a shovel. Press spacebar to say yes. We really know. Ah! That's good. That's a good joke. That was a good joke. Let's ask him about himself, I guess. My name is Augustine. I'm a scholar, primarily of daemons and aether technology. I want to be called a scholar. I only knew her by reputation. Abbot Gregory spoke very highly of her. And Isaac. Prentice, he had such... Okay. Let's leave and talk to the other peeps. Is it appropriate to call potential murderers peeps? But a frail soft goth priest.
Release me! I had nothing to do with that boy.
Hi, Abraham.
You must be Abraham, the grave tender.
Oh, I kind of like it being called grave tender and not keeper. It sounds sort of softer. I am. I've worked here for 30 years. Worked hard without complaint. Look around you. Every brush trimmed, every headstone polished because of me. I've done all that is asked of me and more. Yet the moment something goes wrong, I'm the one blamed? It's not personal. Even the most steadfast among us may fall prey to Lucifer's whispers, Abraham. You dug the grave in which the victim was found, didn't you? Huh. Actually, I didn't dig anything today. Then who did? How would I know? I've been busy, working, as always.
As the grave tender, any crimes that took place here are your responsibility.
Is it though? Is just because the murder happened doesn't mean they keep name dropping it. I was just I mean, Among Us came out a while ago, right? Did Among Us get big 2020? Because this game's from 2021. Maybe it is on purpose.
If you are truly innocent, hide nothing and tell me what happened. We'll find the truth together.
Okay, what you got for me?
I spent the early afternoon tending to the bushes by the mortuary. When I headed back to the mortuary, Nerissa told me there was nothing else special to do for the day. So I left her to her work. I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches. I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
Wait, only on a bench? I mean, in the rain? I don't know if the rain's gonna come up, but maybe they're all goth.
Suddenly, I heard someone call for help from the back field. I ran over, surprised to see a dead body in the grave.
Okay. Let's just ask about everything. Are you claiming that you didn't dig the grave? Right, that's what I said. I was busy with the bushes. That's really convincing.
When I headed back to the mortuary, Nerissa told me there was...
So you were dismissed early in the day. Why didn't you go home? Nerissa made it clear I should leave her to her work, so I did. But there's plenty of other groundskeeping work to be done. The large headstone out front needed some attention, so I headed that way.
I walked through the mortuary, then headed down.
You didn't run into anyone? No, no one passed me. So, never ran into Isaac, I guess.
I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
This guy does not seem like a distinguished liar. I'm wondering, just based on conventions, if it's Nerissa because there was a guy in the first case. It was a guy in the first case. So we gotta change things up, and maybe it's the woman. We'll see. You were there until someone called for help? That's right.
Suddenly, I
Fair
heard
enough.
someone call for help from the back.
Then Father Augustine was the one that called for help. Yeah, he was standing over the grave when I arrived. Nerissa arrived around the same time too. Well, there was a surgical tool and there and nurse was a mortician. Yeah. I want to know why she's been stealing. Stealing organs! I'm Abraham, the groundskeeper here. I polish the headstones, trim the bushes, that kind of thing. That's the poor boy in the grave. Such a shame. I hadn't seen him while he was alive. Is that who the grave was for? If you say so. She must have been important to have a plot here. It's very important. Not just to have a plot, she's part of the plot. I don't like speaking badly of others behind their backs, but honestly, he gives me the creeps. He's just goth. You don't cast aspersions. Notice that? It's my family's old grave. We're not nobility anymore. The Abbey's grounds once belonged to my ancestors. It was all confiscated after my great-uncle Sergius was branded a heretic. Too bad for the rest of us. Maybe it's Einsoff's humor that I work the land now as a laborer. Life has its ups and downs. It's a good job. Potential motive? The grass grows like weeds here. I use that to keep everything tidy and neat, the way a graveyard should be. That statue is always an ordeal to clean. 100-some-odd years old already, as you probably know. I don't know what that is. Why would someone put that on a grave? Good question. Are you sure it wasn't an accident? It seems so strange to have a murder after all these years without any. Are you sure it wasn't an accident? Unfortunately, we're sure, Abraham. This was a daemon's work. A pity. And the boy's so young, too. I suppose it's a part of Einsoff's will, somehow. That's definitely Nerissa's. I've seen her using it at her table many times, getting the dead ready to rest. I suppose it injects and repairs? I've never used one myself. These can't be my footprints. It's true that I went inside at the mortuary after working outside, but that was before the rain. Okay, the rain is sort of relevant. We don't have it as like a piece of evidence, but should keep that in mind. Nerissa makes bouquet from a flower garden nearby. Visitors sometimes use them as offerings at the graves. I don't know anything about this. Nerissa handles all the scheduling and tells me when I need to do something. What do you know about this liver? You say that's a liver? If it is, looks like a dog got to it. I don't know if I could recognize a messed up liver. Just thinking. I know what the liver looks like. I was a registered, not registered, but like a proper first responder. Certified, that's the word, certified first responder for a while. I had to see guts for that. I usually only see bodies when they're all cleaned up. Nerissa must not have finished with this one yet. That's my shovel. It's built to last. Good workmanship. I usually leave it in the mortuary when I'm not using it. Hey! Now let's check in here. Maid nurse. Well, not anymore. That time's long since passed. Long since expired. I don't think I've gotten all the evidence. I guess you don't really need all the evidence, but I don't know if I'm missing something. But yeah, it was part of the instruction to know what to do if somebody's guts are spilling out of their body. Okay, Nerissa, do you look evil?
Praise Einsoff. You must be the famed exorcist. It is an honor, sister.
Your face? Well, good mask. Good mask wearing. But I don't like that I can't see your face. Math, have you played Danganronpa? Only the original, only the very first one. Actually I played it way back. Not even the official version, but I feel like my model's lagging. I played the fan-translated version, where instead of like ultimate or super high school level. All the characters are super duper was their title. And I enjoyed it, but I thought it was neat, but I never got like super into it like some people do.
I'm Nerissa, and I serve Ainsof by preparing the dead for burial. I take pleasure in providing cleanliness and comfort for bodies after their souls have departed.
I see. Nerissa, how did you know the victim?
Ernest, I have to say, I think the dragon design for the nurse dragon maid, is probably my favorite. She's really cute.
Not at all. The first time I saw him, he was curled in that grave, dirty and bloody. The whole afternoon, I prepared Mother Miriam's body for burial. There isn't much else to tell.
Okay, let's play.
Early this afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening. Grave to tell. Once Abraham left, I started preparing the body for burial. I was alone the entire time. No one came by. Mid-afternoon, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus. After Abraham's disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities. Just after dark, I heard a scream from the back field. A dead body was found.
Okay, so there are some. Okay, let's just go through asking about everything.
This afternoon,
And Abraham knew about the funeral? I certainly hope so. Why else would he dig a grave? Didn't he say he didn't do the grave?
once Abraham left, I started preparing the body for burial. I was alone the
Okay, there's a
entire time.
contradiction.
No one came by.
No one came by at all? Nobody, which was perfect because I need silence to focus.
Mid-afternoon, Abraham...
Why did you send him away? Is Abraham's presence so distracting? Yes, I don't like people to stand around and gawk while I'm trying to work. No offense.
After Abraham's...
You consider your work complete then? I did my best given the circumstances. I always do my best, sister. You do your best at murder too?
Just after dark, I heard a scream.
You ran over to the grave from the mortuary when you heard the call? Yes, Father Augustine was already there. Abraham was running over from the front field. Okay, let's ask about stuff. I am Nerissa, the embalmer at this mortuary. I pray that I'm known for cleanliness and thoroughness. That's not what you want to hear from a murderer. Abraham has been the groundskeeper at St. Walpurga's for years. He keeps to himself just as well. I prefer not to be interrupted in my work. Yes, he discovered the body. I don't believe I've ever met him before. Mother Miriam was beloved by everyone at St. Walpurga's. Oh. I can't ask you about... Oh, you're not done. He was found in the grave, correct? How dreadful. So young, too. I've never seen him prior to today. Now let's ask. Abraham takes extra care in maintaining that grave. I often spot him standing over it. That's Abraham's sickle for cutting back grass. Any tools are stored in the mortuary's back room, but I have no reason to ever even touch them. Fair. May Saint Walpurga watch over all of us today. A scanner? I don't use anything like that for my work. Can we perform an autopsy on the victim's body, Nerissa? I have your multi-tool here. Is this truly necessary, Sister Ada? The victim's cause of death is quite clearly from having his throat slit. But he has a scar in his tummy. That could have been what killed him, and then his throat was slit to cover it up. There is something peculiar about that abdominal scar. Let's reopen it and see what lies within. As you wish, sister. Please give me a moment. Oh wow, we're doing it. There, it's ready. Good, let's have a closer look. What's this? His liver, it's loose. It's not attached to the rest of his organs at all. Okay, here we got the evidence achievement. Okay. Can't say anything else. Okay, let's look. Found in the victim's body, detached from the rest of the organs, the liver is drained of blood and covered in some sort of chemical. I would agree, Helem. This is what we would call sus. I found your multi-tool, Nerissa. I'm truly grateful, Sister Ada. Where did you find this? It was lying in the grass near the rear staircase. Impossible unless someone else had stolen it. Surely Abraham couldn't do such a thing? Footprints? I apologize for the filth. Normally the mortuary is kept pristine, I assure you, but today is hardly a normal day. Okay. I prepare these for visitors to the cemetery. You'd be surprised at how often people forget to bring anything to honor their loved ones. Like chemicals, like maybe... Oh yeah, embalming fluids. Graveyard schedule. This is a smaller branch in the cemetery, a quieter place for more wealthy patrons. Konnichiwa, Paki-san. Konnichiwa. お元気ですか? これは、このゲームは、未来殺人判定のゲーム。多分。お、ちょっと待って、There we go. There are no other burials scheduled for today, or even this week. Okay. Bloody liver. That is Mother Miriam's embalmed liver. Seems rather deformed. What happened to it? My apologies, Sister Ada. I must have mishandled it. Organs are very delicate, you know. Due to the disturbances today, I haven't been able to focus properly. Ah, Mother Miriam. This was the body I was preparing for the funeral tonight. Horrible way to die. At least her inner organs were intact. That's such a weird thing to say. Abraham uses that to dig graves, but it's far too heavy for me to even carry. Why is everybody too weak here to use a shovel? It's an embalmed liver. You can tell by the patchy coloring. But I have no idea why it would be inside the victim's body when he had only just died. Naruhodo. Ah! Teaching moment. Naruhodo, spelled with a naruhodo-u, is Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright's name in Japanese. Or his last name, I guess. I'm gonna tune out. But thank you so much for joining, Gusty Billy. Thank you. Have a good eating meal. He touched Miriam and they wanted her body destroyed so the demon influence. It's a shame her head exploded, but at least her liver is fine. I mean, that's you need those organs for selling. Okay, and we need some of these. Can we...
Early this afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral.
There's definitely stuff. Maybe we have to do it from Abraham's perspective.
I spent the early afternoon tending to the bushes by the mortuary.
I feel like... There we go. I like this graphic. You might trim the hedges most days, but why didn't you today? But you didn't today, did you? Instead, Nerissa asked you to dig a grave for the funeral. That's true. It's a normal part of my job. I shouldn't have lied about it, I know. I worried that if I told the truth, I thought that you'd think I killed the boy, but I didn't. When you lie to me, you veil the truth from the eye of Ein Sof. Speak the truth now. There is no room for error in this investigation. Fine, I dug the grave for the funeral, just doing my job, but it was empty when I left it. Oh, look at all these. Okay, let's
Nerissa told me there'd be an urgent funeral in the evening. I'm not usually told who it's for. So I picked up the shovel and went down to the rear plot to dig a new grave. The ground was hard. Took me some time to dig that hole.
Look at him go. Oh, we have a thing. I gotta remember to look.
Digging. It's within my rights. There wasn't anyone else around, so it was nice and peaceful. Then I got back to it and finished digging the grave. When the grave was ready, I walked back to the mortuary to let Nerissa know.
Okay. Let's find out. What's your deal? Integrity. Is that a bad thing? Found in Abraham's sanctum. He values honesty and sincerity. He genuinely loathes trying to escape accusation. Interesting. Why did you lie at first? I regret lying. I'm an honest person, but I felt like I had to defend myself somehow from being accused. Okay.
So
I guess we can ask details about this. So you didn't know the grave was for Mother Miriam? No, I didn't know who it was for. I never do. Doesn't change how deep the hole needs to be.
So I picked up the shovel.
You didn't run into anyone on your way to the grave? No, no one passed by me. Where was Isaac?
The ground was hard.
So the grave was dug this afternoon. Yes, I was surprised by the short notice. Usually I'm told the day before.
I took a long break while digging.
You're certain no one was around? There wasn't anybody, it was just me.
Then I got back.
The grave was dug this afternoon? Yes, I was surprised by the short notice.
When the grave was ready.
You didn't run into anyone? No, no one passed by me. Okay, so we should... Okay.
When I headed back to the morgue.
So you were dismissed early in the day. Why didn't you go home? All right, we'd ask that. Okay. Also, I want to...
For most of the afternoon, I was walking. I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's funeral.
I don't know if...
Isaac headed to the mortuary on a
Arrived for
minor
funeral.
errand.
Abraham left. Nobody came by, so okay. This feels like a
Once
contradiction.
Abraham left, I started preparing the body.
I
for
like it when they
burial. I was alone the entire time. No one came by.
They straight up say no one came by. Contradict with... There we go. Lies, Nerissa. Father Augustine saw you speak to Isaac by the entrance of the mortuary. Isaac entered the mortuary. Admit it. Very well, there's no use hiding it. Please know that nothing untoward happened. The victim only stopped by for a moment. Okay. Let's go through
The
these.
truth is that the apprentice did come by. He asked for a bouquet for the funeral later that day.
Why was the
When I
bouquet...
showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up.
Huh.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear fields before the funeral, so I led him out the back exit.
Oh, and we have our thingy. I know it won't happen, but I really hope someone at some point mentions the taste of a liar. Bruno. Bruno's one of my favorite JoJo characters. Why did he do that? It's so weird. Famine survivor. Oh no. No, don't tell me this is cannibalism again. There's been like cannibalism in like every game I've played. I hate it. I talked about it like the few things I can't do. And cannibalism is one of them, and it just keeps coming up. She grew up during the Great Famine, feeding on anything she could find. She eventually found sustenance, but at what cost? Ugh! Without faith, I could have never persevered through those days. I'm ever grateful to Ein Sof and the kind souls of the church. The exit, but Abraham said nobody passed by him. I know, yeah, I was gonna ask about that. Oof, it's in everything! It's in... No! I hope Grim Fandango at least is free. Wait, did we ask? Oh yeah, we did.
Mid-afternoon, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus.
Are any of these?
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear.
Oh, let's just ask about these actually. Did you notice anything about the victim at this time? No, he seemed like a normal, healthy young man to me.
When I showed him the bouquet...
So weird. So he didn't take the bouquet with him? No, he decided it was best to return empty-handed rather than bring something unworthy.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear fields before the funeral, so I led him out the back exit.
Grim Fandango can't have cannibalism, they're all skeletons. There's nothing left to eat. I mean, I hope. That's the hope, but I can't trust games anymore. Can't do it. I can't keep setting myself up for this disappointment. So when you last saw him, he was headed towards the grave? That's right, he left the mortuary out back. Can eat bones and marrow. Ugh! Show bouquet.
When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's tastes. I forgot to pick it back up.
Barely on the floor. Okay.
Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear field.
One of these that said he was alone? So there wasn't anyone else around. Okay. Abraham.
Then I got back. I took a long break while digging.
It could be either of them lying, but let's see.
There wasn't anyone else around, so it was...
Okay, here. Conflict. Oh, this is new. On my family's honor, I swear I saw no one while digging the grave. I certainly did not see Neressa or the boy come through. What is this now? Despite conflict with other testimonies or evidence, the suspect insists the following is true.
I took a long...
You're certain there wasn't anybody?
When I showed him the bouquet, he held it for a moment and then threw it on the floor. I suppose it wasn't to his master's taste.
What if I ask you?
I forgot to pick it back up. Then the boy asked to be taken to the rear field before the funeral.
What happens if I ask you? Okay. I don't know why Abraham would lie, but the victim left through the door. I swear, I saw it myself. Huh. Interesting. Let's check with Augustine. What can we learn from Augustine, I think, now? You want to see your apprentice's liver? Is this from Isaac's body? You must be mistaken, as it's entirely dried out and discolored.
I arrived at the graveyard with Isaac for Mother Miriam's. Then I passed through the graveyard until I saw the statue of Saint Walpurga. What craftsmanship! And so well maintained. For most of the afternoon, I was walking through the graveyard.
Okay, let's...
observing and admiring.
What is a... Oh yeah, the thing we wanted to ask was sort of, I don't know if we can do this, but what he was doing with this. Aha, here we go. Oh, Doggo, do you want to... Here you go. Haha. There we go. Oh, why's your heart pounding? Are you okay? It's feeling lonely? Okay. Doggo's joining for a moment. One sec. Okay. During your so-called stroll, did you drop this by any chance? I gotta go to bed. Of course, Evie. Of course. You have school tomorrow. Don't want to pass out during our... No, that's the worst. That's the worst. Have a great night and have a great day at school. I believe in you. I hope you're enjoying art class. I found it placed in front of a gravestone. What were you doing with it? This has nothing to do with Isaac's death. I shall be the judge of that. Tell me what you were doing. I was using the scanner to recover a lost hymn for Abbot Gregory to use in tonight's mass. The last record of it is etched upon these gravestones. Pet the doggo, she's being pet. She's nice and warm. Okay, now you're glowing. What's your deal, goth? Disappointment. Is anybody... Are we ever not, though? Just the thumbs down. Found in Augustine's sanctum. Augustine is unimpressed by his apprentice. Oh, interesting. Isaac could have been an eminent scholar if only he was a little more disciplined and rigorous in his thinking. I admit I sometimes felt like he was wasting his gift. His death is even more of a waste, of course. Are there different demons here? Thumbs down. Oh. Okay. Okay, I think it's Narissa based on... We have Beelzebub. Oh dear. Are these guys gonna be... The other two might be in... The other one. Okay. Psychology disappointment. Search the graves. We're looking for... Okay, let's watch these.
It took me a little while, but I found it. The grave then, It took me a little while, but I found it.
How did you find the grave, Sergius? Are you certain it's the heretic's resting place? I'm certain. It's identifiable by a unique set of etchings on his gravestone. It takes a scholar's eye to discern its differences from the other gravestones. I want to be called a scholar.
I placed my scanner in front of the gravestone. It would take some time to decode the etchings.
Okay. What were you trying to decode? According to my research, Sergius was buried with the last record of the lost hymn of communion. Unfortunately, it's written in an ancient script that even I can't read. It was obscure even in Sergius's time. It's part of my research to reconstruct some of the data that was lost or suppressed after Sergius's condemnation.
Then I saw a stranger pass by. He was tall, barrel-chested. I think he was the groundskeeper.
Okay. You're certain that he came from the rear fields rather than the mortuary? Correct. Wait for scanner.
Afterwards, I waited by the grave for my scanner to complete its task. It was taking longer than I expected, so I had to leave it.
What were you trying to decode? According to my research... Okay, you did that again. Towards
When the
rear.
sun was setting, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac and begin the funeral.
So you instructed Isaac to meet you at the rear field at dusk? That was the plan, yes. I expected to have found the grave and finished the decoding by this point. Isaac would meet me in the rear field with the bouquet, and we would attend the funeral.
At sunset, I wandered to the back area to meet with Isaac. I was surprised to find an open grave with something inside.
I think we know this. Did you see anyone? No, I was the only one near the grave. Okay. I think we want to figure out a contradiction to open the finished preparations up a little bit. Just digging. Let's look at our evidence again. Place scanner, so, and you head towards benches. Okay, so
Wait, I placed
I
my
assume
scanner
one
in
of these
front
is a
the graves.
contradiction.
I walked through the mortuary, then headed downhill towards the benches.
Contradict. Any of these? Oh, here we go. Lies unmasked. Lies. You didn't walk through the mortuary after speaking with Nerissa. You paused by the grave. You passed by the grave. Augustine saw you coming from the back fields. Fine, I did walk through the back fields, past the grave I dug. People will always blame me for things I didn't do, so I didn't think you'd believe me. I'm sorry. I haven't said I believe you yet, but we'll see. What was in the grave when you passed by it? Nothing! There was no body, no blood, nothing. Okay.
When the grave was ready, I walked back to the mortuary to let Nerissa know.
And okay. What procedure? Did you see what she was doing? In the main room of the mortuary? No, of course not. I can't see through walls. Delicate procedure, but... Is this a contradict? No, they're corroborated, but I feel like it says they're doing something different, but...
When I passed by the grave, it was still empty, ready for the funeral.
Oh wait, you have a glowy thingy. I should stop missing those. So you didn't see the victim, alive or dead, in the rear field at this time, but by the grave you dug. Nope, didn't see anyone at all, or anything suspicious either. Sorry. Last Scion. Are you a descendant of Sergius or something? Found in Abraham's sanctum. As the last descendant of a disgraced noble lineage, Abraham feels owed his family legacy. Yeah. About 100 years ago, I'm forgetting my voices. About 100 years ago, the church decided Sergius, my great-uncle, was a heretic, which I suppose he was. But ever since, they persecuted my family, confiscated everything we owned, noble to laborers, overnight. I'm all that's left of Sergius's line. I took this job to somehow keep working my ancestral lands, one way or another. I was bitter when I started out, but I discovered the work suits me. Maybe it was Einsolf's plan after all. Okay. So these are like... could be motives. So let's see. Guys like to exit. I feel like we definitely want to get something on like finished preparations.
I spent the remainder of the afternoon resting on a bench.
I feel like there's a contradiction here as well. Because he was at the bench as well. Yeah, here we go. Where was the scanner found? It was on one of the graves here. Father Augustine claims he saw you kneeling by the headstone. Admitted, Abraham, you weren't resting at all. Fine, I had to tend to the grass around the graves. I didn't mention it because I thought it'd make me look suspicious. This isn't helping you, man. Now you've made yourself even more sus. Amend your testimony. You got another thing? Evidence Aww. Though it was over 100 years ago, Abraham mourns his family fortunes, so quickly reducing their status. I'll never forget that night. Someone torched our home, trying to burn us alive. Of course, the guards never caught the arsonist. How could they, when it most certainly was one of their own? Yeah, integrity. For someone who's adamant about not liking lies, he keeps doing it. Integrity. Genuinely loathes. So maybe he does have a demon and it's like... I mean... We have 4 things. Maybe we could have 2 demons. The vengeful sort of makes sense. I mean, I think we definitely have... Lucifer is definitely probably, like, final boss. Beelzebub. You know what demon this game is missing? Mara. Rush to grave. Trim grass.
I had a sickle with me because I wanted to trim the grass around a grave in the front field.
So you admit that you had the sickle with you since you left the mortuary? Yes, I did, and then I used it to trim the grass. That's what it's for.
I walked through the walls to reach the front when I passed by the grave. I walked through the walls to reach I had a sickle with me because I wanted to trim the grass around a grave in the front field.
So... Right for funeral. I'm asking about the other stuff. Here for didn't see him at the time in any case.
And then I got back to...
No, I didn't see anyone coming from the exit of the mortuary. The yellow ones are like corroborated. I don't think everything has to be corroborated.
When the grave was ready, I walked back to the mortuary
Is
to
there...
let Marissa know. When I passed by the grave, it was still in...
I feel like we need to get something
After
from
Abraham's
Nursa here.
disturbance, I completed the embalming to the best of my humble abilities.
Or should I draw an accent for all that? I mean, you gotta do both. I think Bina's a little easier. Don't forget her earring though. Don't forget her earring. Maybe you can make her earring shaped like Among Us for... Your tool! Could you do it without your tool? Mara in a mystery game would be great. I mean, and every game needs Mothman. I have to leave it. There's gotta be something here. Oh, you completed it, but the liver was out. Seems rather deformed. Okay, we asked about this. Partially embalmed. Thank you for being Mara. My pleasure. Contradict. Can we... There we go. The body on the embalming table has clear incisions that remain unsealed. How could you possibly claim that it was ready for burial? Sister Ada, I truly tried my best, but I could not finish the preparations in time. You see, I misplaced my surgical tool. I searched all over the mortuary for it, but could not find it anywhere. Look for multi-tool. Try to finish embalming.
After Abraham left, mid-afternoon, Abraham
I forget where
barged
we
into
actually
the
found the
mortuary,
multi-tool. It was like out
bellowing
there,
that
wasn't
the
it?
grave is now ready.
Don't make me do this. Enjoys exotic cuts of meat, especially for... I mean, there's nothing wrong with... There's nothing wrong with liking meat. I mean... I won't get into that argument about veganism yet. There's ethical things about eat meat. We won't get into it, but as somebody who doesn't like cannibalism, perhaps I enjoy meat too much. But everyone has a soft spot for something, don't they? Hi, Sad Cat. Great news. This game also has cannibalism in it.
After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched all over the mortuary.
Okay, It wasn't in the mortuary? That seems improbable. I thought the same, but I searched everywhere inside. It's just not here somehow.
I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results.
How did you hope to finish the embalming without your tool? I started pulling the organs out of my hands and sealing the incisions with bandages. How do you not have, like, backups? Seem better than sitting on my hands. I have a reputation to protect. So we should try to finish embalming. Look, bet it's her. I'm wondering if Nerissa and Abraham both have a demon going on. Let's try some accusations now, just to see. Our
After
multi-tool.
Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched all over
Don't
the
see
mortuary and
any-
did what I could without making new incisions.
Try to finish
That
embalming.
made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results.
Well, why was the liver still out? Don't eat raw meat. I don't really plan on it. Oh, wait. Hold on. Contradict? Why was the liver out? I don't think that contradicts. We say we found it? Staircase between the mortuary and the grave. I don't see how this, like, contradicts or anything, but maybe we'll try an accusation, because I'm not totally sure here. We definitely want to, like... I mean, it's good that there's no corroboration because it becomes unverified. But let's see, So Isaac was her box lunch. I mean... Liver's drained. Did we ask? We asked her, didn't you? Embalm liver. Bloody footprints. Anyway, maybe we should try an accusation, see what we can find. Means... A surgical multi-tool. It's designed for precise incisions into hardened tissue. I feel like take Isaac to the exit. Yeah, not sure what we do when there's this kind of contradiction, though. I mean, unless we find another contradiction with something else. It would have sliced through a living body with ease. Besides, nothing else could have allowed the killer to seal the wound on the victim's stomach. Oh, there's two things for opportunity. Preparing the body occupied me the entire afternoon. When could I have done such a thing? See what happens, what they say. Sister Ada, I couldn't have killed the victim shortly after Abraham left. The victim would have had to wait inside the mortuary when Abraham was here, okay? Surely Abraham. Is there any... No one could have killed the victim at this time. Father Augustine discovered the body shortly afterwards, did he not? Well, it could have been Abraham killed him, and then she took the organ. Let's look at motive. Why'd I want to kill him? What would I gain? Meat. Sister Ada, I admit I enjoy meat, sometimes even sinfully on days of fasting, but I always repent and am cleansed. Why would that make me kill someone? I can buy what I want from the butcher. What happens if we say... What happens if we say famine survivor? My past has nothing to do with the victim. I never even met him before today. Yeah. How do we want to handle... Augustine also has probably more contradictions to work through. It was Abraham Lincoln. There does seem to be some references here. Okay, we can also accuse, actually Abraham. Oh no, I have to go to him, don't I? Because of the sickle. I'm sure. There's not even a reaction to accusing her of eating human flesh. Oh boy. She's pretty chill about it. Hello, Damien. Where the tier 3 sub button? I don't have monetization. I need more subs for all that. What are we doing? Accuse. Opportunity seems like take Isaac to exit if... Oh, good point, good point. I'll try that, but let's... I didn't have anything that I could use to kill anyone. I'm innocent. Not even a sickle. The sickle could have been used to slice up the victim's body. Doesn't this belong to you? That's a Twitch thing. Yeah, see, I don't even know. I don't even know. I'm very baby. I'm still very baby on YouTube. Of course it's mine. I use it to cut the grass. That doesn't mean I killed someone with it. Opportunity motive. Do a motive. Last Scion. Damien, here's my friend. She is cringe. Oh, hello, Damien. Hello, hello. Nobody is cringe. I think there are 2 opportunity slots because you need where she could have killed him and when she could have dumped. Oh, interesting. Yeah. My lineage? Okay. What about grief? Has nothing to do with my family's death. I had no reason to hurt him. None of these work. I strive to live as honestly as I can. No, that would not have made me wish to kill the boy. Yeah. Astolfo from Library of Ruina? Astolfo from Library of Ruina is very cool. I'm new here, but oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody's welcome. Everybody's very welcome. And Library of Ruina Astolfo is purple too, so I appreciate that. When could I possibly done it? Take a break. The audio timeline seems like my programming break. Oh, you're a programmer? I like programming too. What do you program in? Take a break. Let's assume that Isaac passed through the mortuary and headed towards the rear fields. You were the only one nearby, digging the grave for the funeral. And once Isaac arrived, you attacked him and buried him. That's ridiculous. Oh, I was alone at the time. Which is exactly why you had the opportunity. Okay, so that works. You just need a better motive. Android Studio, mostly Java. Oh, interesting. Java I don't know much about, honestly. I guess I have the tiniest bit of JavaScript, but... Let's go back to Nerissa for the take Isaac to the exit. You killed Isaac while he was visiting the mortuary to fetch the bouquet. Admit he came by, but he left shortly afterwards. If he died in the mortuary, why was his body found in the grave? Because his body was moved. This is when it happened. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, you're right. Would it be any of these? After you dismissed Abraham, you weren't searching for the multi-tool. You dragged the victim's body to the grave, hoping to bury it before anyone arrived. No one cares about okay, I do know about that Astolfo, but I have very little knowledge of fate. It is a nebulous world that exists beyond me. And then none of these work. So we need like another thingy. Stay away from fate. To be fair, To be fair, like, it's so big, it's a little too intimidating. Find another... Yeah, we need to find another contradiction. I feel like we gotta get something more out of Augustine. Play scanner. What happens if we accuse you? What do you say about you're disappointed? Isaac never measured up to your expectations. Can you do evidences for the motive? I think you can only do these. Let me see. You needed to quietly get rid of him before he damaged your reputation. Is this the strongest motive you can find? It's rather pathetic, though I concede its validity. He's down with it. I could have found a much less conspicuous way to get rid of Isaac if I so wished. Can't give $100. Thank you. I'm totally fine for money, but thank you. It bothers me a bit because I can't search for historical characters and having to go to 4 wikis. It's a problem. I had that when I was doing Japanese printmaking and we were looking at hokusai. And the girl hokusai popped up on Google Images. I love that he's like totally down with this murder accusation. I don't think you had really any opportunities or means. We gotta get something more out of Narissa, I think. Oh, now when I do this, I have to run. There's still like, yeah, super chats come after like 1,000. Yeah, it's like 1,000 subs. You have to be approved. You also have to be approved for monetization, but you also it's not just, you also have a certain amount of watch hours, but I actually passed that, so I'm good for that. But I mean, yes, I do have other options, but I don't need anything. I'm just happy to have people watching me.
After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my
Strange
pocket.
liver.
I searched all over the mortuary for it, but it was
I
missing.
feel like we have to ask about this. Oh, do you want to get down, Buggy? There you go. What? Hi. Sorry. Okay. I feel like there's got to be something else. And also this isn't earthquake a little bit, yes. That's the one thing about having a 3D model is you can really see everything. I can go really flying around if I wanted to.
I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made
Wanna
things
ask
slower
her-
and messier. I'm not pleased with the results.
These are all uncorroborated. Is there anything we can...
After Abraham left, I did what I could without making new incisions. After Abraham
Wait
left,
for
I
scanner.
noticed that my multi-tool
The sun
wasn't
was
in my
setting.
pocket.
There has to be
I searched all over
something...
the mortuary for it, but it was missing.
How can we... Can we... Is there some sort of conflict we can find here? Take Isaac to exit. Look for multi-tool. What could have Augustine have killed with? There's not really... I mean, unless he, like... says he couldn't have... Let's go back to him. I don't know how he'll respond to the
Afterwards, I waited
sickle.
by the grave for my scanner to complete.
The blade is sharp, I admit, but it appears to be for surgical use, meaning it's from the mortuary. I never stepped inside. I have no way of obtaining that tool. And the sickle... Oh. I mean, means... I assume that is the Gravekeeper's sickle? I brought no such thing here. I had nothing to do with it. How about this shovel? Unlikely. The shovel's edges are not sharp enough to make such a clean cut. We haven't used the footprints anywhere. Is there... I don't suppose there is, like, opportunity anywhere. We could just try. I'm seeing if there just happens to be anything. He was alive, yeah. Admire, search for grave. I don't think we're gonna get anything out of this, but, go back to Nerissa. Can we do the muddy
After
footprints?
Abraham left,
Back
I noticed
exit
that
to
my
the mortuary to the
multi-tool
embalming
wasn't in my
table.
pocket.
Okay. Can
I searched all over
we
the mortuary for it, but it was missing.
do the footprints anywhere? Aha! Explain these muddy footprints, Nerissa. They indicate that someone left and then returned to the mortuary during the rain. Given that Father Augustine remained outside and that Abraham left before the rain, these must be your footprints. Should play League. I have to say, I'm not being harsh to being a streamer is trying a lot of new things. I'm not 100% against trying it out. No, I mean, I downloaded Apex because it's what all the cool streamers play. I haven't tried it though. I'm sorry, Sister Ada, for all the lies and for the filth. I can't wait to clean it up. I admit that I did step outside briefly to search for the multi-tool. But since it was raining, I couldn't find anything, so the embalming remained sadly unfinished. Are you glowing now? Yes. Are we gonna get like straight up cannibal now? No! Why? A deep temptation to devour human flesh. How long has she felt this hunger? The terrible tendency of mine, but it's harmless, I assure you. I only nibble at the entrails that no one wants. Let's see what she says now.
After Abraham left, I noticed that my multi-tool wasn't in my pocket. I searched all over the mortuary. I was desperate to find the tool to finish my work. I tried searching outside, but I couldn't find anything in the rain.
Okay, try to finish.
I did what I could without making new incisions, but that made things slower and messier. I'm not pleased with the results.
Okay, can we add... Your austere childhood has I'm so off-put now, I can't talk. Your austere childhood has led you to develop a deep craving of exotic meats. Especially a certain rare flesh that had sustained you in a time of need. Working as an embalmer must have tempted you, day in and day out. You were so virtuous for so long. You would handle the organs as part of preparing the bodies. Yet you could easily imagine the taste, the texture, yet you resisted. Then Isaac arrived, and the daemon spoke. You could no longer ignore your hunger. A fresh, juicy liver at your fingertips, would be so much tastier than the cold entrails you'd handled from corpses. All you had to do is slip open his stomach, like you'd done 100 times before.
Ain Suf sees all, Narissa.
That's why she's wearing the mask.
You are the only person who could have killed Isaac. Do you deny it?
Curse you, and curse Ain Suf. How can the eye see all? Does it see my suffering? Where was Ain Suf when my family was dying in the street, chewing on leather just to live another day?
The famine was a test, Narissa. Ain Suf wanted you to demonstrate your faith, your will to live.
Have you ever felt true hunger? When you haven't eaten for days, reality shifts. The body needs.
We all have our challenges set out before us, Narissa. Some more difficult than others.
Do you think I was the only one that fed on human flesh?
It's not for me to judge what you did back then. That's between you and your confessor. But today, you murdered an innocent youth so that you could feed on his liver. A daemon has possessed you. Confess, Narissa. Speak the truth. It is time.
Okay, okay, let's actually devour body. Phew, okay, yes, let's...
Early this afternoon, I informed Abraham of the funeral scheduled for this evening. I'm grave to tell. The truth is, that boy did come by. He asked for a bouquet for the funeral later that day.
I do want to know why he threw the bouquet.
When I brought him to the bouquet table, I don't know what came over me. The hunger clenched my belly suddenly.
That's why it...
I've seen the butchers do it. It only took a quick slash to his throat, and he fell to the floor. I knew where to get the best cut. His liver. It was still warm. I couldn't believe the taste. Like nothing I've eaten before. Heavenly. Then, Abraham barged into the mortuary, bellowing that the grave is now ready. I sent him away to focus. My senses were returning, and I cleaned up my mess. I sealed the boy's body, putting the liver from the body I had been embalming inside and sealing it. I carried him to the new grave and quickly tossed him in. I heard someone coming, so I didn't have time to bury him. I was shaking with adrenaline. In my hurry to return to the mortuary, my multi-tool must have slipped out of my apron's pocket. I stored what was left of the liver among the other entrails, hoping to finish it later. I wanted to savor its deep, rich flavors.
Shut up!
Sooner than I anticipated, I heard a scream from the backfield. Someone had already discovered the body.
Yeah, no kidding. I wish my VA was that good. I'm trying to improve. Okay, let's do this cool thingy. Oh, go away!
Narissa's wretched soul is twisted by demonic influence.
This music is great.
I must speak the daemon's true name. Then the daemon will be cast out and be banished to the ether. Ain Suf, guide me. What daemon has possessed Narissa?
Beelzebub! Beelzebub the gluttonous!
Out, Beelzebub! Leave this soul and return whence you came!
It looks like he has, like... villi in the tummy. Not in the tummy, but...
No, we must feed.
He must feed.
Delicious, scrumptious little morsel. We must have more. The hunger is an endless pit. More!
Thank you, Alexander.
Speak, Beelzebub. Why has your kind returned?
Hunger is a primal need. Just as you feed on lesser life forms, growing them in captivity for slaughter, we feed on you, the meat of your emotions, the marrow of your deepest desires.
You will prey upon us no longer, Beelzebub. Return to the ether and never come back.
I must obey for now, but we won't be gone too long. Tonight, Lucifer will open the gates of hell. I won't be the only one allowed to feast. Ada, you juicy little morsel, we shall devour you soon. You and all the other delicacies.
You're right, he is a little cute in a way. But
Nerissa. Do you hear me, Nerissa? Was I too late?
nothing remain of your soul?
Goodbye, Nerissa. May Ain Soph make you whole again.
Cute, well, I mean, compared to how bad it could be.
So this is the power of an exorcist. I've dreamed of seeing this. It looks a bit different than I imagined, however. What's happening to her?
Oh dear. That ain't good.
Ada, look out!
Huh?
Halt, Nerissa.
Oh no, Virgil!
Good, I've stunned her. Are you all right, Sister Ada?
Yes. You came just in time. My thanks, Virgil.
Ein Soph, save us! Another possession! Another killing! How is this possible? Who is responsible?
Gee, I wonder who.
Virgil, you have failed us. How could you allow this to happen?
Unfortunately, Father, I believe you are primarily responsible. We should have listened to Ada.
Yeah, get him.
She warned us about the contaminated body, and its demons spread, just as she said.
We must act now. We can't waste any more time bickering about who's to blame.
No, we should. We totally should. I mean, you have a, keep guessing until we figure out who it is policy. We should totally bicker.
The daemon within Nerissa spoke of Lucifer's return. He walks among us.
Among us.
It's perverse that they would return now on the holiest of days. Why? Are we being punished?
It doesn't matter why. The Abbey is unsafe, Father. Cancel the Mass. Send the pilgrims home. If you proceed, you are risking all their lives.
No, Father. You must stay the course. We've worked too hard for this moment.
You are evil.
I have decoded the ancient hymn of communion. The Mass can proceed as planned. This chance will not come again for another century. It's literally the last chance we have in our lifetimes.
What is the significance of that hymn? Why must it be sung tonight?
According to Augustine's research, it honors Saint Walpurga and her victory, in a way uniquely pleasing to Ein Soph.
Huh.
I protest. But if you absolutely must hold the Mass, at least allow me to guard you at the altar. You are putting yourself in danger. What if you were possessed?
What if? What if?
That may be unwise, Father. Surely if things are as dangerous as you say, nobody should be trusted.
You dare accuse me of being sus?
How do we know this supposed exorcist is not the pawn of Lucifer?
That's absurd! You witnessed the exorcism!
No, I saw her turn a woman into a rabid beast. What really transpired in the ether when she supposedly exorcised these demons?
I liked you. I thought you were a cool goth dude.
She invokes the demons' names. She knows them more intimately than any of us.
You're a demonologist.
I speak their names to control them and then banish them. You know this.
Or perhaps you are being used by them. how would we know?
The only thing that possesses me is the flame of Ein Sof. I shouldn't have to defend myself.
Actually, what Augustine says makes sense. We should be extra cautious, just in case. I don't want you at the Mass. If you truly believe Lucifer lurks at my abbey, find him. Unmask him.
Don't mind if I do.
Search the grounds as you like, but stay away from the chapel or I will have you put in a cell. Nothing can be permitted to interrupt the Mass and the hymn, especially after the events of today. Saint Walpurga deserves to be honored for her victories. Inquisitor, Augustine, come. We have much to prepare. Very wise, Father, as always. Farewell, sister.
It would be best if you were wrong, Ada.
But I'm filled with dread.
That's because it is. Lucifer will strike tonight, Virgil. I only pray he strikes at me instead of at the Mass.
Strikes at me. It would kind of be interesting if we had to exercise ourselves at some point.
Stay vigilant.
Stay vigilant. I love you. Poisoned by Father Augustine against me, Abbot Gregory ordered I remain outside the chapel for his mass. At midnight, the gathered pilgrims lifted their voices in praise to Ein Sof, but they were cut short by a thunderous crash. Another soul taken. So, I guess after the next cutscene, I'll probably finish up for the night. I'll probably finish, I think there's only 3 cases. Unfortunately, because it's such a, I'm really enjoying this gameplay. Shadow Ada, well, her eyes are gold. Yeah, let's see when it takes us.
Virgil, where's Abbot Gregory?
Oh, look at
What
this.
interrupted his Mass?
This purple. Confused how you're going to the 4th hour instead of the usual 2. 3 is normally where between 2 and 3 is where I normally end it, but we're just trying. Normally it depends on where's a good place to finish.
The abbot. His death was the interruption. A 3rd murder, I'm afraid.
The abbot.
The lights went out during Mass.
Oh, that's never good.
Moments later, the statue of Saint Walpurga crashed down from the ceiling, impaling Abbot Gregory with its spear.
That's... Wait, he died? But he was the evil one. But the statue crashing down and stabbing you, that is a great centerpiece.
An assassination, then. But why? We must determine who is possessed immediately. Examining the facts will reveal Ein Sof's truth. How was the statue held in place?
Due to its weight, we had to rely on using aether-powered restraints to hang it above the altar. Which means the killer must have sabotaged the 2 power generators on the balcony
2 power
floor.
generators.
There were only 2 people on the balcony during the Mass. I've detained them for interrogation.
Second, doggo. Second.
I've sent the pilgrims back to town, lest they panic and disturb the evidence.
Excellent work, Virgil. Who are the suspects? You said there were 2.
Only 2.
You already know them. Brother Gideon and Father Augustine.
Oh, where? Oh no. We come back to... Doggo where? Doggo... Yes, Doggo's come to bother me because she needs feeding.
Since you are a key witness to the events, I will of course hear your testimony
Oh
as
no,
well.
Virgil!
May Ein Sof show us the truth behind all of today's events.
No, I don't want to suspect Gideon. I feel like Virgil might actually be relevant, but there's something. Okay. Resume new game. I assume this is safe to finish. Doggo camera. I'm afraid I don't even have a camera actually. She comes and goes too much for it to really be worth it, but she does come and visit me quite often. And I always mention it because it gets kind of needy. What breed is she? She's a Yorkie. The little Yorkie. Let's not do that. If I was on my... I do have a little image for her, but on my Ruinous Dreams. How's the face rig then? It actually uses, the iPhone's AR kit technology, so it uses the infrared dots, but not the camera specifically. So it's like tracking the facial data, but not using the camera. But it lets me do stuff like this. No actual camera, which is good, because I always got scared of it turning off and stuff. But I'm perfectly happy for you to imagine I have no face. I just like to change forms in between streams many times. No comment. Okay, so I'm assuming this saved. I'm gonna finish up this for now. But thank you everyone for joining me, and I do appreciate that you're willing to let me try out unusual games, because I really like mysteries. I really like story-based stuff. We'll probably... I haven't put my schedule up yet, because I wasn't sure how long this would take, but we'll do the last case on Tuesday, I think. What did you use for the mouse tracking on the blue-haired one? Oh, that's, I have the program in the description. It's a program called Spud Tablet. And the idea is it tracks your mouse. And the idea was it was made for when if you're doing like a drawing stream, it would track your like tablet movements, which correlate to your mouse movements. But I just wanted more like visual interest since I was using a PNG. But the name is in that video description. I always put all the software I'm using. But yeah, this works with mouse inputs as well. Stay away from League. We'll see. I have to say it's not at the top of the list, but I will slot it into the list. I can't. I'm interested in what the people want of me. I can't help it. I mean, it's popular for a reason. Sometimes I want to find out. But, okay, doggy needs feeding. Thank you everybody. Again, I really appreciate it for letting me try out fun stuff and getting to share it with everybody. I'm quite liking this. I like a good mystery. Even if it had to include cannibalism. Yeah, and thank you for all your help. Okay, have a good rest of your weekend. See you, everybody.